Hello.
I'm just here for the laughs.
Jen's just here for the laughs. I'm in StreamYard, and I have the comments delayed. I think I put it at 40 seconds because I didn't know if it was going to be like crazy with a bunch of comments. So I just kind of left it alone and put it in slow-mo for 40 seconds. So how you doing, Jenny?
I'm doing good. Hey, Sunflower.
Hey, Sunflower. Hi, D Rose. Again, I'm in StreamYard, so I may not see everybody's comments. So what do you think about the news today, my dear?
Well, what was it I got that he'd have over 500
Yeah, we're at 71.
felony indictments or counts?
We're at 71 if you count New York, and now this one, 71. And we still have Georgia, and we still have Jan 6.
And anything else they want to add to it. I'm sure there'll be campaign finance crap and all kinds of things.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So what did you find the most interesting today from all the news when they unsealed the indictments?
How many documents were like high level about nuclear stuff and everything on foreign countries and everything else?
Yep.
I thought it was hysterical that what's his name, Waltine Nata.
Yeah.
His little box mover guy aide.
Oh my gosh, I
getting
can't.
Indicted along with them. It's like, yeah.
And that's also the guy that accidentally, I say that very accidentally on purpose, flooded the surveillance room, isn't it?
Yeah, the pool boy, we'll call him.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, and that the text we've been talking about, the text that's in the indictment from a family member, it says, where they're saying she was texting Waltine Nada and saying you took boxes to POTUS's room, like somebody he's making them call him POTUS still. You know, he's not POTUS anymore. And then said there won't be room on the plane for all those boxes because of luggage. It's like, yeah, Melania and the pool boy or the goat herder, they got too many goats and too many suitcases.
It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Like it's just the amount of shit that came out today. I was like 31 counts.
And it is so detailed. I read the whole indictment. It's almost 50 pages, I think. I read the whole thing. It's amazing.
31 counts just on espionage. And then an additional 6 for like obstruction of justice and all sorts of stuff. It's like, holy shit. Holy shit.
So I was doing a personal reading for somebody, and I get out of the personal reading, and my phone's exploding with text messages. And I happened to glance. I had my TV muted on MSNBC, and I happened to see at the bottom of the screen 71 counts. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like that's more than New York got him on, and all those espionage counts.
Yeah.
It was like didn't get him just once, but multiple times.
Yeah.
And I called Becca up. I was like, what the hell's happening? What's happening?
And then Johnny's text message, did you see that? He's like, I take a nap and there's shit flying all over the place.
That's how I felt last night. I fell asleep and I woke up and same thing. My phone was exploding and he had been indicted. I was like, what?
Yeah. Yesterday it was 7. Today we wake up and they unseal the indictments and no, it's not 7. Add another 30. Add another 30 to what was previously reported. It's like, holy shit balls. Holy shit balls.
It's funny. The Republicans that are exploding on Twitter, losing their minds.
No, they're calling for war. I mean, they're calling to unalive people, all of the crazies.
Chris Hayes and all this, and it's crazy. I mean, it's the Andy Biggs and the Josh Hawleys and all Kevin McCarthy, all those guys talking about that Biden, indicted him. It's not Biden. It was a grand jury in Florida of his peers.
Yeah. And did you see yesterday? Because they knew those indictments were coming. They had, well, I don't know. I'm only speculating. I had seen on Twitter that they were reporting that the Gang of Eight had an emergency meeting yesterday, and then the shit hit the fan with him being indicted, and they said 7 counts. So you can't tell me that meeting wasn't about this, you know? And it's like, y'all just wait, because we're coming for you motherfuckers too. Like, you know, like
they were talking tonight about Eileen Cannon is over the trial for over the arraignment, and they're like, she should recuse herself because she was appointed by Trump.
Well, it's not
on
just
that alone, she should recuse
it's
herself.
not just that. When she was tampering with the original, when it first came up with the documents case, and she tried to put a special master's, the special master came in and she kept overturning him and telling him to stop because he was actually doing his job. She was reprimanded twice by the 11th Circuit. So they already have her on a pattern. So I don't, according to this tableau, I don't see her helping him at all. At all. And if she doesn't recuse, they can easily take it to the 11th Circuit and be like, yo, this lady's already got a pattern. You've already shut her down twice. Get her off of here. You know, so she's walking on some, I think I did a grand tableau for her too. She's walking on some eggshells there if she really wants to fuck up her career. But yeah, I did do one on her.
I gotta ask you, because it just cracks me up. Does it show, if you look around the fish, does it show him flooding the surveillance room?
Well, okay. Here in this tableau, recap for those that are new. This is a grand tableau I did on Donald Trump earlier this year in the month of March 13th, 2023. Okay. So this was only a couple months ago. This is where he was in the month of March. I had said in that tableau, I don't see him in court till the following month, which was April. And it was something around a woman, and I couldn't figure out who it was or what it was. That's when the Stormy Daniels stuff hit.
Well, it's also when E. Jean Carroll trial was.
Yes. And there's the sex right here, Tower and Whip. Okay. So we're March, April, May. Okay. And then here is June. So in this tableau, the bear is in its own house. The sun is in its own house. The ring is in the house of mice. The mice is in the house of ring. Okay. So we're looking at power and finances, control as well, energy and success. And with mice and ring and mice, an agreement to steal, criminal conspiracy. Okay. So the flooding of the room, well, here's the criminal conspiracy, the mice in the house of ring, an agreement to steal or destroy something, to take away, to diminish it. Okay. There's the surveillance right there.
The
technology.
Yeah.
There's the fish. There's your water. There's the identification, moon in the house of man, obstructing. There's the law. There's the abuse, power, or not power, a repetition of pattern. And then there's a success.
Because this is the second time he has flooded a room to destroy evidence.
In this particular case, and remember, I said in this tableau, I didn't see him in court till the following month. Something comes up in the summer, but the biggest thing was going to be the corners. Anchor in the house of Rider, book in the house of Coffin, key in the house of Moon, mice in the house of Ring. That right there is the arrival of something that was secret in boxes. That answer and expose, because this sits in the house of Moon, that goes back to him, a criminal conspiracy. So this is the one that hit the biggest. And right here in the center, he's fucked. So
now we're just waiting on seditious conspiracy.
Well, there's another one that comes up in the summer. Let me see. This is March, April, May, June, July, August. There's something that comes, we're here right here in June. Okay. So there's the news of something that has to do with power and finances, a criminal conspiracy, and it puts a lot of heat on him. It recognizes him. It makes him he's in the spotlight for this one. Here is someone that had knowledge about secrets that has to talk. And answer questions. And again, it points back to him, key in the house of moon, moon in the house of man, and man in the house of birds. So this could be, because it's birds, audio recordings, phone calls, messages, communications, anything like that. Also, we had talked about him betraying a financial advisor, and that financial advisor would be speaking. Well, that's already happened with Alan Weiselberg, who flipped on Trump. Also, in regards to any aides or anyone in executive positions because of the bear, or managerial positions in any way, that will be ratting him out.
Like Mark Meadows.
Yeah, Mark Meadows. Also, it was just really, I saw it today on Twitter that, what's his name? The previous House Speaker, Neil, what's his name, Jenny? Newt Gingrich testified to the grand jury over 1-6. So all the aides and everybody that were friendly and loyal, those people are all going to speak. Now, in reference to the guy with the moving the boxes, well, that could be him here as well. Here's an aide or someone that's trustworthy. Here's him betraying and making him the fall guy. He's talking, but what does he have over his head? Secrets. Secrets in boxes. Book in the house of coffin. From this, from what was released today, we know that he had communications with a family member. Dog nights to house. Okay. House sits next to woman. Follow this down. Okay. So there's the communication with the woman that was telling him, oh, you can't move these. We don't have any room on the plane, yada, yada, yada. Well, this woman is very, very close to the man. This tells me it's a partnership, a marriage, because they're so close. Even though the ring sits far, this is a marriage that's in serious trouble, though. Mistresses, affairs, all that sort of stuff. There's two here that I can easily identify, but either way, she also looks like she might have a lover or someone that she's seeing on the side that's not being talked about. But either way, this person could be some sort of jewelry executive that's very successful. But besides that, because of how close they land in this tableau, this tells me it's husband and wife. So it might, which is weird because I read those text messages and I was convinced, I was like, there's no way that was Melania.
I think it was Melania because when I reread it, it's very broken English.
It didn't seem like broken English to me. That's why I was like, there's no way this is Melania.
Yeah, I don't know. It read like broken English to me.
Do you have it handy? Because otherwise I would have to dig through Twitter. Oh, it's on our text messages. I sent you the link.
Yeah, I sent y'all a printout of it. Hang on.
Oh, is Autumn in the chat?
She was emailing Nada. Good afternoon, Walt. Happy Memorial Day. I saw you put boxes to POTUS room. To. That sounds very foreign. Not in POTUS room, to POTUS room. Just FYI, and I will tell him as well. Not sure how many he wants to take on Friday on the plane. We will not have a room for them. Plane will be full with luggage. Thank you.
Well, there it
is. Good afternoon, ma'am. Smiley face emoji from Nada. Thank you so much. I think he wanted to pick from them. I don't imagine him wanting to take the boxes. He told them to put them in the room and that he was going to talk to you about them. He removed 11 boxes.
Mm-hmm. So there it is right there. There's that communication. You follow this line down. The phone call, the communication, the text messages about what? Look at the card above. The secrets, the delivery of secrets, family member, woman.
If you went to the bathroom in Mar-a-Lago, you probably were under a chandelier with boxes all around you. That's one of the bathroom photos.
Yeah. And then behind that shower curtain
is probably more.
There's more boxes behind that shower curtain. Unfreaking believable. So,
and then we had 3 of his lawyers resign this morning. And what else has happened?
So we're right here in June. This is the column for June right here. News about his clinging to power and keeping things. The ring is not just jewelry, it's also things of value that are not money. Okay, it's something that's very valuable. It's in the house of mice. Again, something valuable that was stolen, but in conspiracy with others to steal, because there's an agreement to steal, to take away, to thief. Okay, and it knights here to the book, which is the secrets and the knowledge, knights here to the house. So that could be family members and the entourage. Knights here to the ring or to the tower. So we're looking at an agreement perhaps with people that were in government or with the law, in agreement, but there's a violation here with the law. So when we flip around this way, it's like there could be more coming around the summer, but then there's a big one that hits here. And this one is all around election stuff. It's this column here, the arrival of something that's very heavy and punishable. There's your indictments, a charge, danger for trying to overturn something, to change something. Storks, scythe in the house of storks, and then followed again by the mouse in the house of ring. So there's a big one that hits here in about 2 months. So we're in June. This would be July. This is August. And then in July, there's more people that talk right here. More that talk right here. And then there's another indictment that looks like it hits here. But then there's this whole entire cluster right here around the elections and fake electors. And they've established here several alternatives for these results that are official. There's about what's hard is that the Lennies only go up to number 36, which is the cross. This is 34 here. We already know that he was, this also applies to what happened in New York.
Yeah.
Something that has been going on for a while now with his enterprise, Lily's in the house of ship. Fraud, a pattern of fraud, fox in the house of whip.
Thank you, Lisa, for contributing to Becca's champagne stash.
Letter in the house of tower. So this is something official, or letters or documents from a corporation. Fish in the house of letter. So this also applies to the indictments from New York, where there was 34 counts. Well, letter in the house of tower, official letters. How many? 34. Fraudulent business records also. Do you see here? But there's also something that hits in these 3 columns that have to do with the elections. But it's almost looking like if I follow the fish and I go this way, that conspiracy that was very vast and widespread, there's around 34 people with careers in government. Wow. That were abusing stuff and they get exposed. But I can't tell if it's 34 or more. This garden right here does not have a pip card. This is, I mean, it does not have a pip. It's the 8 of spades. Okay, so I hesitate to read this as a person because it's not a person. It's a number. Do you see what I'm saying?
Are you down in the line of fate?
In the line of fate. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Okay. Can you explain to me what a meadow is? It's a large,
like a park, a garden.
Yeah. Well, because the garden is sitting next to the fish and the clouds, both of these are kings, king of diamonds, king of clubs. Okay. So I'm hesitant to read this as Mark Meadows because Meadows is a large park grassy area, correct?
Mm-hmm.
But the only reason I'm going to do that is because it's 2 kings are touching it here. Okay. So it could be Mark Meadows and somebody else, but this is widespread. This here, the letter is touching this immediately down this column. So it's like around 34, 35, 36 that have careers in government that are going to have problems with the law. And
what's interesting too, like, Fani Willis is just Georgia. Jack Smith could still get him on fake electors. Yeah,
there's we're still waiting on the January 6th stuff. And these 3 columns here are talking specifically about fake electors and overturning the election in a criminal conspiracy. And then right here is where another set of charges hit. So let me see, March, April, May, June, July, more people talk, more witnesses, perhaps more people communicate, more phone records, whatever, yada, yada. And then boom, more charges right here. So March, April, May, June, July, this would be August. This right here would be August. And then you have these two columns, but I'm reading all three of them together. But there's about 34 people that have careers in government. So I don't know if these are people that, because if I follow the fish, it looks like they could be coming from the house. And remember, we talked about the chain. The bouquet in the house of child, child in the house of tree, or child in the house of cross, cross in the house of bouquet. That is it, guilt, gifting, innocence. So that's the pardons. That's the whole pardon situation. But then there's also something here where there's financial agreements here. News of financial agreements that are very successful. Follow it this way for gifts. And then gifts for pardons. And then here you have the lobbying and the selling of pardons.
So Giuliani may be close to that fish too then, because he's the one that was doing some of the selling, him and Jared.
Wait, repeat that again?
Jared and because Jared worked on the pardons. He's admitted that because he said January 6th he was working on pardons. He wasn't aware of what was going on January 6th.
Yeah, well, there's two.
And then Giuliani was selling.
Giuliani would be more like the clouds. Clouds in the house of Key. Clouds is someone that's very confused, irritable, cloudy thinking, graying hair. He nights up here to the mountains, so that would be someone that's bald or balding or partially bald. One of these would be more like a Jared Kushner. I would think more the Jack of Hearts here with the heart, because it's closer to the fish, and we all know Kushner is a businessman. Now there's fish has to do with shopping. It has to do with transactions, independence. It has to do with consulting. There's this right here. Okay.
Lily's tree.
Lilies and tree. This right here, I've seen it before on the grand tableau that we did about 2-3 years ago. I'll have to dig it up because my notes are over there and I can't get to them right now. This is the Saudis. Saudis always show up like that for me because this is very regal. It has kind of like a royalness to it, and then the family tree here. Okay. Suspicion, documents that are official, sold, transactions, consulting. Okay. There still may be an ongoing investigation for that, because if you follow this, multiple charges, multiple guilts, fraudulent or suspicious, or an investigation into a man. There's the offer or gifts, betraying, and then power and an aid. So a powerful friend as well. But this friend can't be trusted because he's got the snake right there. So there's that line this way, but that doesn't come up until you go around the tableau. So I'm wondering, and even if this does happen, I'm wondering if it'll be obscured from the public, because when you follow it down, the fish is followed by the clouds.
He could be selling documents. He also, I think, because he was involved with the live golf courses, or golf tournaments and stuff, and they just merged with PGA.
Well, there's this right here would be a large outdoor area. Okay. Nights over here to the whip. The whip is anything that's physical. So sex, exercise, abuse, fighting, like physical fighting. Okay. So that could be sports. With the this over it, sports for fun. It's lighthearted. Do you see what I'm saying? So there's that. Now, I'm not sure if that will be disclosed that, oh shit, we have evidence, because there's also these financial records, business records that are official, that are in the court or in the an institution. So not just the courts, like the company records of his business. Okay. Those are also being investigated for the sale. It's obscured here. And we already know that Jack Smith is looking at his records from the Trump org. And I think they just started looking into records with the Saudis too, right? Because I think they're suspicious that he sold them.
Yeah, I mean, he could sell records to the Saudis and hide it as money he made off the Live Golf thing.
Yep. And he got those, and Kushner got those 2 billion way before any of this happened. So there's a suspicion there. It's just, can you gather the evidence? You know,
can you prove it? Yeah,
yeah. It shows here that the evidence is there. Will it be disclosed to the public? That's a different question, because how is that not going to make the shit hit the fan even worse? You know, that, oh yeah, by the way, we had a former president and he was letting the Saudis look at stuff and getting money in exchange. You know what I mean? Like, but so we still have this that's going to hit over here on this column. So is there anything else I should look at? Because I can't catch everything on these GTs because they're just so big. But he's fucked right here. He's just, and the only thing is this only goes out till March of next year. So
he may have more hitting later.
Yeah, well, according to this, he does.
Showing in.
According to this, he does, because he still has. We're right here. He still needs to go here, and then we come back, boom, and then another set hits here. But it's like this set. It's all around elections.
Yeah. So for people new, each column going down is a month.
Read as a certain month. It can be read that way. That's how I choose to do it.
Yeah.
So, yep. So it looks like in about 2 months' time, and then from 2 months moving forward, another 3 columns. So another 3 months, boom. That's when that shit hits the fan. So the shit's not done slinging. So there's that. But what else should I look at, Jenny, before I do Meadows? Any questions?
I can't think of anything else. I was trying to remember if anything else came up today. We were laughing so hard. I called Becca at like noon, and I was like, "Tell me what's going on."
Yeah, and I had a question too about Bedminster, which I'm pretty sure I can find here. In the indictment, the 49-page indictment, they have knowledge because of that text message that Trump was moving boxes to Bedminster.
Yes.
I will say this again for the 1,085,000 freaking time. Trump is not leaving. He is not leaving. Period. So please stop asking. He's blocked. He can't move. He can't go anywhere. Right here. He's on lockdown. One way, shape, or form. He can't go. All right. What was that? Where was I going with
so
this?
It's surprising they haven't raided Bedminster since they know.
Because they know via the text messages that he was moving stuff. Well, here's the movement of the documents. There's the establishment. There's the move. Okay. And then follow this line. There's that woman in the family delivering documents. Okay. Well, there's the property. The property is sitting on House Clouds. Follow this line up. So we're going from house to clouds. Why? Because it's sitting on House Clouds. Okay. An abundance of documents that are still missing that they're still looking for. Why? Under surveillance. I would not be surprised if it is not under surveillance via court order, because there's an abundance of documents that are, where are they? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes, so he still hasn't turned them all in, even though they've gotten thousands from him.
And then here, if the Fox is very covert, undercover, sneaky. Okay, this is the sneaky card. It knights over here to the to the stars. Stars in the House of Books, secret surveillance. They're going to catch him in more shit. Guaranteed.
Yeah, so they've gotten Pfizer warrants on him. It's amazing how many lawyers of his have tape recorded him. I mean, Cohen did it. Nobody trusts him. So they tape him. So they've got all these tapes of him, which is just hysterical.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if they've got him wiretapped by this time.
Yeah, the phone is over here. This is looking more like surveillance. That's cameras or something like that are hidden for the documents. This Fox is in the House of Whip. So a pattern of sneakiness, a pattern of surveillance. Okay. There's your choices and your multiples. Indictments, because it sits on the House of Scythe. Right here you have the cross in the House of Bouquet. And then here is the suspicious documents. Suspicious documents for sale.
And the Saudis were just there for that live golf tournament.
Mm-hmm. And then if you follow this line up, there's the Saudis right there.
Yeah.
So
they were just there. So I bet you they were watching to see if there was transactions going on.
Mm-hmm. Because this is the card of shopping. And this tells me checks. And there's something about the money that they try to obscure it, but it goes into the campaign or for golf or an outdoor area. And then it's
they hit it as the money he made off the tournament.
So if this is the surveillance that they're looking for, these documents, and it was sold, it's obscured. It causes even more trouble because the Clouds is in the House of Key. Key is in the House of Moon. It goes back to him. He goes to the House of Birds. So this is telling me if this is the checks or the transactions or the consulting that he did in regards to those secrets official documents that's obscured, it puts him in even more trouble, and it identifies him as the one that was negotiating the sale. But it's like they try to obscure it to put it in the campaign, and then it was transferred. And then over here, I don't know if you can see that. Child or transferred to something smaller. Do you see what I'm saying? So, yeah. But he's fucked. He's not going anywhere. His travel is going to be limited. His campaign is also, his campaign's going to, that's going to come into a shit ton of trouble because of this right here. What comes before it? Shady business documents, shady business dealings, spying. This is the card of the spy. Sorry. Because it's so sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So there's that. But there's also these 34, 35, 36. I can't tell you exactly the number because the Lenny stop at number 36. So this is 35, 36, 10, and 23. So if I read this, the arrival of charges, it could be 36 people here for a criminal conspiracy, widespread and many independent freedom identified in Congress. So it could be 36 or 30, around that number, unless it's one more than 36. I wouldn't know because that's as far as this goes. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So there's that. So we still have to see this portion play out between January 6th and what's going on with Fannie Willis. So I'm not sure if the people in Congress is this one, number 34, which hits this line right here. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Conservatives manipulating results, 34. That's one way to interpret that line very simply. What happens to those 34? Shit your pants, you're in big trouble. Do you see what I'm saying? So
we'll all be wearing diapers before it's over.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if this is 34 members in the House that conspired to steal the election, but they're career people in law.
Hey, Autumn saying on Twitter they're taking bets on whether Trump will ultimately get hit with more than 100 counts or charges. Well, I'm saying it more than 500. That's my bet. Anybody wants to take me up on that?
He's at 71 right now, so it is not a stretch when you got two more
He's going
coming.
well over 100.
You know, So for this portion, I am not talking about the indictments that he just got today. I am talking about the ones that are coming for election.
In the future.
And Fannie Willis for the election and the January 6th stuff. So it's about around the same 30 something, but I'm looking at 34 people in the party that are career government people that were fighting for his success. If I follow this line here, it's a criminal conspiracy that was widespread. 34 people, career government fighting, and then significant success for him. So it's looking like 34 people. And
they have indictments coming too, right?
Yeah, because the indictments are hitting right here in this column. But this line is hitting all three of these. Does that make sense? Because I can make this one giant box spread. If I wanted to, I can break this up here and this up here, and then read it this way, and then read it this way. Does that make sense? And then we also saw the pardons, but they're sale. The pardons were for sale here. And then there's the campaign. For Jared Kushner, he would be more like this person here, the Jack of Hearts. This would be more like Ivanka, the Queen of Hearts here. Okay. There's another woman here with the Queen of Diamonds. I don't know who she is. She's very partisan and a hack. Very with the cross here. This person asked for a pardon as well. But she's a woman, very religious, dogmatic, intolerant, conservative, white supremacist almost. Dangerous here, very dangerous. So I don't know who this is. Not sure who that is. But there's three people here.
Could be Jenny Thomas or somebody. Thank you, Giovanna.
Yeah, it could be a Jenny Thomas. It could be.
She was involved in those fake electors.
Yeah, there's just so many. This is saying 34. If I read this and then go this way, it's 34. And then this right here says 36. So there's 36 here and then there's 34 here, if that makes sense. So
they better put their big girl panties on.
Yep. And then this woman, there's an older man, very conservative around her, has a lot of wisdom, who makes choices and decisions. Choices and decisions with this here, that could be in regards to surgeries. Okay, this is pregnancies and births. So yeah, it could be like a Jenny Thomas. This right here. There's Saudi Arabia, possibly Ivanka and Kushner here. I don't know who this is. This is a person, male, very dangerous, bit wacko and crazy into conspiracy theories, white supremacist as well. So perhaps like a Stephen Miller gets caught up in this shit too. And I only say that because of the descriptors that go for this. This scythe is sitting on the house of Stork. So this person was in agreement to overturn something violently, because this is very violent and very sudden.
Well, Stephen Miller was also involved with immigration a lot, and Storks could be immigration, right?
Yeah, because the Storks has to do, because it doesn't have to do with immigration. I tend to look at it as immigration because of the migratory pattern of the Storks.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I, depending on the context, that's why I read it like that. But this person's already provided testimony as well, if you follow this line here.
Oh, wow. Because I don't think Stephen Miller's testified, has he, as far as I know?
I believe he has.
Oh, has he?
He hasn't yet. He will be soon, because there is him, very passionate. His decision to obstruct and delay the results over the loss. And he was in agreement in the negotiations to steal something for a win. So there's that. If you read this line this way. And he knights over here.
Oh, he did. April 11th, spent 6 hours
Yep.
at the court with the grand jury for January 6th.
Yeah, he's looking
Good.
like he's in trouble too. He's caught up. There's a lot of people caught up here that I can't give you specifics because I'm only seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that I can identify via pips. The crossroads is here, which tells me multiples. Okay, this is the card of multiples. So multiple women, multiple men, this person here, this person here, this person here, this person here. I can't pick through every single one of them.
Yeah, between the House and the handful of senators like Josh
Yeah.
Hawley and
I
Lindsey
can't.
Graham, and then you got the everybody in the administration. It's hard to.
Yeah, but I can tell you with absolute certainty that all those people are shitting their pants right now. They're just waiting for this to hit, for this to come their way. So, and there's one in particular as well who's in a managerial position that had knowledge of a phone call, and he is on a phone call. So that we could be looking like at a Lindsey Graham over here as well. Because this person talked on the phone and he has to answer.
So basically, it doesn't look like any January 6th indictments for a while.
Well, we are right here. So we have next month, and then after next month, more indictments hit.
Yeah, but those are more about the Electoral College.
No, this is also January 6th.
Oh, okay.
I said that earlier because we're dealing with overturning elections and a widespread criminal conspiracy. And right in the center of this whole thing is 2 with the crossroads. So there's 2 cases right here in this cluster that are dealing with overturning an election.
So fake electors and January 6th.
Yeah.
Right?
So we're still waiting for that. So next month, more people testifying, more knowledge of secrets and what was going on, and phone calls and people talking, negotiating, all that stuff. The month after that, so we're in June, July, August, shit hits the fan here. And then for the next, these columns here, August, September, October, during those 3 months is when all the election stuff comes up, both in Georgia and because there's 2 with the crossroads, Georgia and January 6th, because they both deal with here's your choices and alternatives and doubles. There's your change, overturning. But there's 2 of them, 2 instances of overturning something with a lot of desire, and then there's the widespread conspiracy. So that's these 3 columns here. Am I making sense?
Mm-hmm.
So
one last thing, because they were talking about it tonight on the news, is they said, if I were Trump's lawyers, I would probably go for a plea deal like, hey, he'll drop out of running for president if you let him off, which there's no way. I mean, he's got too much evidence on him. I don't think Jack Smith would let him go.
And we're at 71 federal charges right now.
Right now, and he's got everything else still to come. So
yeah.
You don't see anything about a plea deal or anything, do you?
Mm-hmm. I see right here in this column where we're at right now, there's going to be some sort of an agreement made. Because this is March, April, May, June. There's an agreement that's going to be made. Right there. This only goes through March of next year. When do the primaries start?
I think around January.
January of next year?
Uh-huh.
So let me see. March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. He's not in the right here? No. Because if this is the elections, he's got multiple charges and he's still under investigation. He's blocked.
He's blocked from the elections.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And he's awaiting. He's waiting on something. Waiting trial here.
So they may lessen his charges on these documents and then slam him with seditious and conspiracy on top of it all.
Because it's right above him. It sits above him. The trying to overturn elections here. See what I'm saying? But if this is the upcoming elections, no, it's not looking good. Here he's blocked. Crossroads knighting over here to the mountain. And this is sitting on the house of Scythe. Do you see what I'm saying? The choice is, it's cut off. This right here, there's an offer. He makes an offer. And then this knight's here in agreement. And then with the bouquet in the house of child in the house of cross, okay? Not only gifting pardons to people, but also an offer for his guilt to be made smaller. Does that make sense? Because that's that chain here to here. That's that chain on this one. So gifting pardons and taking an offer for the guilt to be smaller. So there's that. But if I'm interpreting this correctly, I see him taking a plea deal and he drops out. This is in the house of Scythe. Scythe is over here. He's got all this coming still. This whole thing. Right wingers in the judiciary helping Trump? No. Help is out of reach. If this is him and this is help, it's out of reach. He's fucked. So, and right here in the heart of his tableau, major losses and ruin. Right there. Obstruction, him obstructing. There's happiness and joy and offers. An offer, and then there's the ending right there. The end, kaput. And this is in the house of mountain. So if you think he's going to win the presidency and get out of this, no, I don't even, if I am interpreting this correctly, he doesn't make it to the end of the race.
If they offer him or let him have a plea deal, if his attorneys pursue a plea deal, I think they should make him get on national TV and apologize for lying about all the fraud, lying about everything.
He won't. He won't.
Yeah, he won't.
Because then he won't be able to grift. He won't be able to grift. And over here, okay, the tree is sitting over his head. Traditionally speaking, the closer the tree is, this is a huge red light to pay attention to your health. He's got the fox right in front of him. The fox is very sneaky, conniving, and smart. You got the choices here. The choices that are being cut off because it's in the house of Scythe, and then there's your multiple charges of guilt here, okay? Sitting on the house of bouquet, an offer for an exit strategy. If this is your exit, this is how you're going to get out. You can go here, say you're retiring from the race due to health reasons, or you can come down this road and face the charges and meet this. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's like, he's fucked. Like that's all I can say. There's not change for him. Scythe in the house of storks. Change, improvement is cut off. Things don't get better. So I could be wrong. We'll see how it plays out. But I see him dropping out and then saying it's health related. But the campaign and stuff that he was able to gift from people, he still has that too, because there's the campaign, there's the money, okay? The advertising for money, for the stop the steal, follow it this way, there's the steal, widespread thievery, widespread fundraising, through marketing for his campaign. He's still got that coming. That's another lawsuit he's going to lose this way. I don't know if that's FEC or what it is, but the grift for the campaign for the presidency to stop the steal, that's right here too.
Wow.
So,
well, the FEC was looking at George Santos, and DOJ asked them to back off because they were investigating Santos's campaign finances.
Yeah.
So I would imagine DOJ will look at Trump's also.
Yep. I see confinement in a home because this is isolation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's the house in a home. It's not as clear as it was on the one that I did way back, way back a few years ago before the first indictment, because that one showed Jeffrey Epstein getting arrested at the airport. Mm-hmm. Clear as day. Like I didn't fuck that reading up, and that was years ago. So I tend to look for patterns like that. I don't see it here. So I could be missing it, but I don't see it here. I do not see it here. I mean, it could be there's the man in the box. And this also, this line right here, because of how the tree is crowning him, which I said is very health related. In a grand tableau, you don't want this close. There's age related. That's a very serious chronic illness here. There's your age. There's the man. Illness, that's chronic. I don't see tickets to the I see tickets to the park, but it's more in relation to something civil. Tower has to do with longevity. Tower and clouds, that's death and serious illness. But that is coming from people that traveled to a campaign and some sort of a lawsuit, but it's around civil. It's more civil. Does that make sense? So I don't know if this is civil lawsuits and perhaps the people that were injured or people that lost their lives or people that family members of people that lost their lives from going
to January 6th.
To the January 6th, but it's down here because there's actual death here. And then here too. But this is looking more like a serious illness for him. That he's going to take that as his off-ramp exit strategy. Because there's the guilt. There's your choices. How are you going to get out of here? Get smart. Look at it. What decision are you going to make? Health related. So he'll probably drop out, say it's health related so that he can try to continue to grift. But that grift is coming to an end as well. Because the gifts here get closed down and shut down and ended.
Party's over.
Party's over, motherfucker. You grifted the country, unwilling taxpayers, along with your idiots.
Threaten our national security. Threaten the national security of our allies.
Yeah. Yep. So there's that. Any other questions that I should look while I have this?
I can't think of anything else on this one.
If anything, I have the notes from this was done in March, so we're right about on schedule.
I know Becca wanted to throw a grand tableau on
Mark Meadows. I looked and I had done one in April.
On Mark Meadows?
Yep, Mark Meadows GT.
Oh man, I'd forgotten.
I forgot about that too. But I'll do another one just for shits and giggles. Because I already made the chart, so I'll do it.
Okay.
So let me put this away. Because he's a deep doo-doo.
Well, while you shuffle, I'm going to run get something else to drink real quick.
Yep. Thanks for joining me tonight.
I have been laughing in text messaging with Becca and Johnny all day, and I had to call Becca when I saw the breaking news. I'm like, what the hell happened? I was only out of action for an hour. It was crazy.
It's like all the shit hit the fan today. And
71 gallons. I was like, holy crap, he's going to hit the 500.
Yep. It's like somebody was flinging shit today and somebody turned the fan on high because Jack Smith was not fucking around, y'all.
And little pool boy indicted. And I was like, good God, my head's going to explode.
You better believe that pool boy's going to talk and he's going to flip quicker than shit. Especially when they squeeze his balls.
You better now, because they also got him on false statements.
False statements.
In the indictments.
Yeah. So it's like how many years maximum is that for making false statements?
Well, I had told you, I think for Trump alone, he was looking at over 100 years. Well, that was like, per count or per document or whatever. Somebody was saying he could be looking at 400 plus years.
Oh my God.
For Trump. Because of how many documents there are and how many times he falsified records and how many times
But with all that said, though, Andrew Wiseman was making a good point today on MSNBC saying that, those are maximums, but very rarely do judges follow that because there's always precedent, so they try to follow the precedent, for that. But
400 reduced down to 20 even. Trump wouldn't make it. He's 76, 77.
Yep. And that's another thing I was laughing at today. The lock her up crowd, the people that wanted to throw Hillary Clinton in prison for no fucking reason, had no problem with Hillary Clinton being 74, 75 years old. But all of a sudden, Trump's about to be 76 years old and he's too old. You can't put him in jail. He's going to die in jail. It's like,
yeah, no problem locking Hillary up or Joe or Hunter or anybody else, but not Trump.
Yeah, I just love how they just keep moving the goalpost. It just keeps. I'm like, next thing we know is going to be the goalpost is going to be outside of the freaking Milky Way because they keep moving it so much.
They can all go join him at Bedminster on the cemetery golf course. I'll be right back.
Oh, Giovanna, no, it's we were adding up between New York, which was 34, and the classified documents case, which was 37. He's at 71 indictments so far. We still have Jan 6 and Fannie Willis. So he did not have 76 indictments today. He only got 37 from the special counsel, but the 37 from the special counsel plus the 34 from the New York DA, he's at 71 total. Yeah, they'll vote for him anyways. I saw them on Twitter. There's nothing in the Constitution that says he can't be president from jail. But then that's great because then he can just pardon himself. I'm like, I love how you all, all of a sudden constitutional scholars can't figure out that a president can't, pardon himself on a crime. Like, I mean, I'm telling they are twisting themselves into pretzels trying to, defend the indefensible. It's sad, but it's also really freaking hilarious. It's like, no wonder these people drank bleach. They're that freaking stupid, But whatevs. So long as he's having a shitty day, I'm having a great one. So...
Becca, I'm going to leave you alone so you can concentrate on this because I know how intensive it gets with the Grand Tableaus. But thanks for having me on to laugh about.
Thank you for joining.
See you guys Sunday night. And I'll be in the chat in a minute.
Okay. Bye, Jenny.
Bye.
I'm just trying to shuffle these real quick. Give me 1 second. Yeah, might as well call Trump the Jim Jones 2.0 because those people drank the Kool-Aid. These dumbasses are over there drinking bleach. So there you go. We've upgraded from Kool-Aid to bleach. That's where we're at, folks. That's where we're at. Also, I forgot to mention, in this part of the tableau that I just had up, the one that I just took down on Donald Trump, we have the mountain. Wait, no, that's Mark Meadows. Hold on, let me go back to Donald Trump. The lilies, number 30, the fox, number 14, the letter, number 27, the fish, number 34, and then the clouds, number 6. Okay. This could also, besides all the fake electors and the Saudis, which we talked about here with the lilies in the tree, with the fox right here, suspicious manipulation. Also, the fox is also in regards to work and employment. Okay. There's something historical here because the lilies has to do with maturity, something that takes a very long time. Okay. Manipulation or an investigation. Okay. Sneaky, sneaky. Official letter or something that's official, that's written, that is part of the law. Okay. Well, if you look at the numbers 30, 14, 27, 30 and 27 would be more like your constitution, a historical record that's official. It's part of the law. It's in government, bureaucracy. Well, there's number 14. Okay, so that would be more like your 14th Amendment. Look at the column before it, the insurrection. And we also discussed, I can't remember if it was part 1, part 2, or part 3. This right here, Storks and Crossroads, this is the swing states right here. So stuff about the swing states coming up in the next few months, because there's charges, another set of charges, not next month, but the month after, if I'm interpreting this correctly. And then from there, going 2 months forward as well. And that all has to do with the election stuff. So swing states and the insurrection and everything else. Okay, so there's that. Alrighty. Let me see here. I'm just trying to shuffle these really good. You know the devil may come and get him soon. No, please leave him here. Please leave him here. Please leave him here. I just want to see that son of a bitch just be miserable and uncomfortable for all the shit he did to people, especially the most vulnerable people in our society while he was president. The cruelty, you know, that's not cool. Hold on, I'm trying to find, God damn it. I'm trying to find, Karin Conroy, I just made you a moderator. Just made you a moderator, ma'am. Sorry, give me a second. Oh, there you are, Karin. The swear jar of 5 more swears. So I made you a moderator. Sorry, that took me a minute because I'm in StreamYard. So then I had to go onto the YouTube to do that. My swear jar. Sorry, guys. Sorry if you all find it offensive. So let's see here. And I'm sorry that my comments are delayed in the StreamYard, so I don't see everybody's stuff. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to go brew myself a little cup of coffee because we're going to be here for a minute. So give me a couple minutes. I'm going to go brew some coffee, refill my jug of water, and I shall be right back, you guys. Thank you so much. Alrighty, I'm back with my cup of coffee. Alrighty, I'm going to do it on this one. Write it down on my notes, and then pull them on the little card so I can fit them. Two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, he's fucked too. Damn, dude. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me write this down. So we got 22, 4, 6, 15, 17, 28, 26. Coffin is in its own house in this tableau. Okay, let me see. 11, 30, 10, 14, 19, 32, 2, 23, 24, 31, 25, 27, 3, 33, 34, 21. Okay, 35, 18, 20, 16, 7, 12, 1, and 29. 36, 13, 5, and 9. Okay, I just thought of something, and I'm going to show you guys real quick, and I didn't notice it up until I just looked at Mountain on his. And I'll show you guys real quick before I put this one with the smaller ones. Okay, let me put this over here. In Trump's GT, oops, sorry. Where'd it go? Trump's Grand Tableau, the one that I just had up before I did this one. Mountain is sitting right below him. Okay, we discussed the Saudis with Lily and Tree, followed by the snake, followed by the letter. Those are your documents that are official because it's letter in the house of Tower, okay? And then fish in the house of letter, an abundance of documents that are official, okay? This right here, the Saudis, if you follow these two lines, Trump is sitting right below the tree. Mountain sits right below him. Mountain is obstructions. It is delays. It is obstacles, but also enemies. Enemies. Enemies in the house of garden. So enemies in a party, enemies anywhere where there is a large group of people outdoors, okay? There's the career, his reputation, moon in the house of man. And then there you go, garden in the house of fish. Payment, transactions, shopping. So there's your Saudi stuff right there again, powerful enemies. And something around outdoor green areas, large plots of land. Garden is, as a thing, a large park. Around the tree, it could be like a forest. It's a congregation. So think rock concerts. If the Birds was close by, it would be like a rock concert. It's a very large outdoor area where a lot of people congregate, but there's a powerful enemy within that network. Garden is also networks. You see what I'm saying? So just keep that tucked away in the back of your mind. So let's see here. But after looking at that tableau again, I'm convinced they have that Bedminster under serious surveillance. So I'm putting up the one for Mark Meadows that I just threw right now. Okay, just give me a moment while I try to put this up. Parks, large green areas. We talked about that when Jen was on. The garden is knighting to the whip in Trump's tableau, and the clover is right above the whip. The whip is anything that's physical. So you're looking at sex, fights, exercise, arguments, strife, criticism. With the garden there and the clover is always fun. Okay, like luck, it's opportunity, it's chance, it's fun, but it's very quick. So you're looking at sports for fun, sports for gambling in a large public grassy large plot of land. But there's an enemy there with the mountain in the house of garden. Does that make sense? So $15. 15. ¿Dónde está el número 15? $28. $26. And 8. So like I said, coffin is in its own house in this tableau that I can see right off the bat. Okay, 11. 30. 10. 14. 11, 30, 10, 14, 19, 32, 2. I'm missing one up here. Hold on. 22, 4, 6, 15, 17, 17, 17. I'm missing the storks. 1 second. Okay. And there's your insurrection right there. Overturning the government. Okay. Storks and tower. Man, book, coffin. So crossroads, house, clouds, bear, storks, man, book, coffin. Then we have whip, lilies, scythe, fox, tower, moon, clover, and then mice. 23. Where's 23? Okay. 24. No, this does not mean tickets to the park. 31. 25. I think in the last time we read his tableau, it was showing that he was having serious marital problems. 27. 3. Where's 3? 3. 33. 34. 21. Let me see here. 35. 18. 20. 16. 7. 12. 1. And 29. 36. 13. 5. And 9. Okay. This is the grand tableau for the Meadows man on today, June 9th, 2023. This is good for 1 year, so it should go through June of next year. I wrote down the wrong date. Okay, for those of you that are new to the channel, this is a grand tableau. This spread consists of an 8x4 plus 4, meaning 4 rows this way, 8 this way, with 4 at the bottom, which are considered the line of fate. That is how I choose to do my grand tableau. The other format is the 9x4. So instead of having these 4, you would have another column here, the 9th, and then you would read the 5th column as the line of fate. I prefer this one. The grand tableau consists of the 8x4 plus 4. When I refer to the houses, those are fixed. They do not move. The houses are the positions where the cards land. So for instance, this is house 1, house 2, house 3, house 4, house 5, so on and so forth till you get to number 36. The houses correspond to the cards. So house 1 is always the rider, house 2 is always the clover, 3 is ship, 4 is house, 5 is tree, so on and so forth. If you were to take the tableau and put it in numerical order, those are your houses. That is fixed. That does not change. What changes is when you shuffle the cards and lay them on the positions, if that makes sense. That's your variable. Let me see what else. The reason I use the houses is because it'll allow me to follow the chain of houses, which we may get into, we may not, we'll see. But yeah, that's the quick and dirty of the grand tableau. So Mark Meadows is sitting right up here on the very top column, meaning he's pretty much in control of everything, doesn't have much on his mind, but he is sitting in house clouds, which is not an auspicious position. Also, he's followed by book in the house of snake, and coffin in its own house. Coffin in his own house. This is not talking about he's going to get tickets to the park or anything. That's not what this is in relation to. This is just talking about ruin. Like you're fucked and ruined. His corners are decisions, elections, and choices with the crossroads, the coffin, out of options, out of choices. And then here, a woman, and anchor, a woman that has achieved something, the achievement of a woman that has goals or that has reached her goal. Okay, but he's out of choices and options. Central to his tableau, you have the fox, the tower, the letter, and the ship. Fox is in the house of birds. Tower is in the house of child. Letter is in the house of garden. Ship is in the house of mountain. One way to interpret that is working in government, because we can look at the fox as work and employment. So working in government, documents that were transferred, or documents in regards to a transition. Okay. Another way to look at this as well is serious investigations that are being conducted in the law court cases. Okay. Suspicious records or records that were manipulated. Okay. And then those records here being transferred or transitioned. If you look right above it, there's your insurrection, overturning of government, the transition here, and the lie, the big lie right there. He is sitting in this column, which is, he's very emotional right now, and he's going to answer a bunch of questions and talk. Man in the house of clouds, he's very irritable, and he's fucked. He knows it. Moon in the house of, what is this? Fox. So his career and what he did for work, but also very smart about how this is going to play out for him, how he's going to be known, his fame. Answering here, okay? He's going to answer a lot of questions. The key is in the house of crossroads. So answering about election, answering about his choices, answering something in regards to alternatives, okay? And then there's your interviews, your phone calls, your text messages, anything that has to do with verbal communication, okay? And that is in the house of woman. His communication with a woman that has, this woman has something that is very lifelong. She ain't going anywhere, okay? This woman here, a bit crazy, maybe sick in the head, very paranoid, and obstructs. She's under a lot of pressure, but she's actually very well achieved. And she's part of an older couple here, this way. Okay. Anyways, the first three cards that open up his tableau, lots of problems within the family in regards to his choices. Also problems in his family because of more than one residence where choices were made and something was delivered. Okay, so, and I think we know that he voted twice, one out of a mobile home where he doesn't live, and then the other one in his regular residence. But there's problems in the family, problems at home, and also something very serious and very problematic in regards to making choices from two residences. Okay. Let's see here. He has knowledge about secrets that were in a box. He perhaps helped move. This is the card of movement. Transition and movement. Writer is delivery. Okay, so perhaps he has knowledge of how the boxes were moved, and he provided some assistance in that manner, getting him out of, if this is a residence, moving them out of the residence. There's also something here that is executive that was moved. Executive movement, him, the secrets, and then boxes. Also, another way to interpret that is something financial. Okay, there's something financial going on here that increased or improved, and he has knowledge of it. let's see here. But he's answering questions right now, interviewing, talking, his phone as well. This is in the House of Lilies. This right here, providing guidance in some way, shape, or form to an older person or another person that was in a mentorship capacity. Also could be speaking to and communications with the lilies. The lilies is the card of veterans. Could be communications with a veteran. A couple of them, because there's two here with the crossroads. So there's more than one. It's like two right here. There's a man here, a younger one here. So there's 1, 2, 3 men, 2 younger ones here. But there's a few of them. Quite possibly veteran status. And weapons here. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, he's singing like a canary, and he's going to rat this woman out. There's something on the phone that was delivered to her. So if you follow this column down, that communication, that meeting delivered, or a meeting to visit this woman. And she sits in the house of Moon. And the moon is right below him in the house of Fox. Let's see here. So if we look at these meetings, there's something significant going on in these meetings or around his phone that was very significant and answers a lot of questions in regards to transitions. And also, when I'm saying transmission, I'm talking about power here, the transfer of power. Okay. But there's a meeting here with many here, transfer, important meeting, many. All right. There's number 34 again. So this meeting, or there's something on the phone or something. There's like 34 something members. This would be like members of the party and allies, if I follow it this way, that were in cahoots of this widespread thing to lie. But there's 34 here. That he's talking about, that he met with, that are on his phone via text messages. This right here would be like text messages. Also, this right here, emails, documents that he handed over. Okay, but there's 34. Lying about the communications and who visited, or lying about where the meeting was going. Let me see here. Lying about the transition and how they were growing that lie with the tree at the bottom you can't see here. And very important meetings in regards to, check this out again. You all saw me. I did it with a different deck of cards. Offers with the bouquet. Offers in the house of cross. There's your pardons. Asking for pardons, offering pardons, talking on the phone. There's one woman here in particular and another one here that I can see very clearly of the many that asked for pardons, that were wanting an offer of a pardon. There's a man here, one woman here, one woman here. But there's a lot. There's more than I can count. But there's 34 people that were... 34 people, if I follow it this way, that were all in agreement to block and delay this transition. Enemies. Okay. They did not get what they desired. Mountain in the House of Heart. They didn't get it. They were desiring an offer for blocking this transition, and then also offers and agreements for payment, to make payments. And then here, you follow this, the meaning about payments and who was making payments to get pardons. Okay. So like I said, one man here and two women that I can see very, very clearly in that little box. I think there was a total of 9, which would be right here. Hold on. Let me get this out of the way. That asked for pardons. So there's the key, which is number 33. Birds is number 12, which is your communications card. 9 is the bouquet. 9 in the House of Cross, which is number 36. So there's like 9 people that asked that were wanting pardons. But there's more than 9 that are involved in obstructing and delaying. Okay? If you follow it this way, this little box right here is saying that there were many that were willing to pay. 9 specifically asked. Can somebody go online and see how many members of Congress were asking for pardons? Since I can't do that, let me see if I can put this up. At least 9 people close to Donald Trump reportedly requested preemptive pardons following January 6. Former Trump aides named 6 GOP lawmakers while testifying before January 6th. So at least 9 people. Well, this is if I'm looking at the numbers, it's 9. He sits on House Clouds, which is number 6. So we looked at that. This right here, he has knowledge of what took place in order to overturn the election, because here's your insurrection right here. Let's see if I can get this. There's overturning the government. How do I know that? Because this is exactly how it showed up in Trump's tableau in September before the January insurrection. It was right here. Actually, it was in this column. And then the weapons and the raid and the rally were here. Okay. So that's how I know that's the insurrection. Also, another way for that is that there's several members of the entourage in Congress that are in deep shit right now for overturning power overturned, that he had knowledge of the loss. So it's not just property and problems at home, but members of that entourage in Congress that voted that are in deep shit. Deep shit. Up here, 22 with the crossroads. 4 is the House. 6 is Clouds. 6 Clouds is in the House of Ships. So if I look up here, 6 people here. If I look down here at this little box, 9 here. And then there's 34 individuals this way. So we're looking at 6, 9, and 34. I don't know where it applies to each one. Mo Brooks, Matt Gaetz, Andy Biggs, Louis Gohmert, Scott Perry, and Marjorie Taylor Greene. Okay, that's the 6 right here. There's 9 down here and 34 right here that were part of a conspiracy. So we're still looking for 9 and 34. I don't know what that applies to. Well, that's the 6 are up here. House, Clouds. House is number 4. Clouds is number 6. There's 9 down here that were very important to a meeting. And then there's 34 here that were also involved in delaying something, that were in agreement to delay the transfer and the transition. Okay. Also right here down this column, financial fraud and financial records that are fraudulent, that are very, very, very widespread this way, down this column. But his next column is knowledge. There's your opportunity and the delivery of some sort of consultation, but also it's almost like knowledge of who the money man was down this column. There's a money man somewhere delivering money. Secrets, opportunity, shopping, visitors, and delivery. So he probably has knowledge that this shit was getting sold or shared. Okay. There's a loss here, an enemy and an obstruction here, and then this woman. So 2 columns of head. If we're in June, this is July, this is August, there's some deep shit about to hit with a woman. There's some deep shit getting ready to hit with the woman here. Traditionally, the Grand Tableau, you would read this as his wife, which we can look at it that way as well, because to get them to talk, I have to look at these. So he's depressed. And her and him, an older couple. Okay. And then them talking. Also her communicating with him, talking. But there's an older couple here. But there's some serious losses and a powerful enemy and a shit ton of problems. And this woman here is going to be weighing, she's going to be carrying a very heavy, 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 heavy load. She's going to have like a mountain on her shoulders, this woman here. But like I said, I can look at this woman's a couple of different ways. One way as his wife. Another way, this is a woman that is part of an older couple. Another way, this woman is sick, paranoid. The mountain right there could be in relation to like headaches. But she's also an enemy, also with the mountain there. But she obstructed something in regards to a loss. Her. In the House of Moon, this woman markets, or yeah, she works in marketing, some way, shape, or form, to negotiate as part of her work. Conservative, birds in the House of Lilies, decisions that are abusive, offers that are dogmatic, heavy. Where's key? Answering decisions and choices that we hear about in the news. A very successful, well-recognized ally. Knowledge about the lie, and then her. That's her chain. But there's an abundance of people here, like a lot. But there's 6 up here, 6 up here in the house that made choices in regards to the elections to overturn power because they had knowledge of a loss this way. There's some important people here, 9 this way, that we're trying to get an offer or some sort of favor. And then there's 34 here, all in agreement. Let's see. Well, yeah. So this could be Jenny Thomas. I mean, she's part of an older couple. This is an older couple. There's a meeting, phone call, text messages delivered to her. Also going to a meeting to see her. Okay. Now let's look here. He is going to end up taking a plea deal for smaller charges. That's the line of fate. There's your guilt, your punishment, your pain, your suffering, smaller, something solid. And then there's the offer. Bouquet in the house of child, or in the house of cross. So there's an offer here for this pain and suffering to be made solid, or to be made smaller. It's still solid though. It's looking like this right here is 5. The tree is number 5. So it's almost like maybe 5 years or 5 something. Tree is very slow. So it's like he gets an offer to minimize, and it becomes smaller. The guilt becomes smaller, possibly 5 years. This is minimum, as far as time, minimum 1 year. This is lifelong. Okay. So it's almost like he takes an offer, pleads, makes an agreement here. Child, knights to ring, an agreement for smaller, probably 5. So let's look at there's something here that was established on a social media campaign. So he's right here. We still need to go this way and then this way. Okay. So for right now, he's singing like a bird, answering questions about offers, taking interviews. He might get caught in a lie or two here, because the snake sits right next to the birds. Okay. Perhaps lying about a meeting with a woman or something like that, or lying about something that happened in a meeting and the feedback from a woman. It's up to Justice Roberts. Don't even get me started on that piece of shit. Okay. Next month, we're talking about knowledge of opportunities, to kind of lobby and sell secrets, maybe, stuff that you shouldn't know. If I interpret the book as secrets, the book is also projects. So it could be also a way to interpret this is a project to win that they were trying to deliver. Okay, so working on the win there to overturn the election this way with the members of Congress and everybody else. The following month is when we see the shit hit the fan around a woman. So also this could be in relation to Fani Willis, maybe, because we're in June, July, this would be August. Okay, and it mirrors this line over here. These two are mirroring each other. So we're looking at election loss and a woman that reaches a goal. Okay, and this is August right here. So we could be looking at Fani Willis bringing charges and indictments for the conspirators that were trying to steal back the loss and obstruction. Okay, but this is a woman that reaches her goal. Election loss, woman reaches her goal. Following? Okay. So June, July, August, September. There's something here that happens in September that has to do around choices, the elections. Let me see. A lot of passionate fights. Also, something perhaps around a sexual affair, but it doesn't apply to him. It's somebody else. That reaches its goal. The members and the loyalists that are conservatives in the entourage, or quite literally in the house, they're going to get a lot of heat. A lot of heat, the loyalist here. Because the dog is in the house of, what is this book? Book is in the house of snake. There's a woman here that's a loyalist that knows about the lies. So that hits in the following month. There's Johnny. How are
Howdy
you?
do.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm going over
Where am I at?
this jerkhead's Grand Tableau Meadows. It's
Oh, that's
interesting. Huh?
That's special.
Yeah. I was getting confused because up here, Johnny, it's showing the 6 members of Congress. There's the elections, the choices. There's the Congress right there, the House, followed by clouds number 6. Okay. These people agreed. And then there's the overturning of power because they knew that there was a loss. Down here, there is an offer for 9 or a meeting of 9. And then there's also 34 people that got busted here. So I don't know do you know anything about that? 9 and 34. I'm trying to see where that fits. 9 and 34. Because we know that there's 6 in the House. I'm wondering if the 34, because there's 9 here and 34 there. I don't know. Have you done a GT on
Him?
Yeah.
I have not.
I'm going to make you bigger. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I'm going to make your ass bigger. There you go.
Because I barely, like I said when we were texting, like I, for whatever reason, can never retain. I know who he is, though, as far as his job goes, but I don't think I've ever seen a picture of him, and I don't ever remember him.
Let me see. I don't have my phone.
I can look it up.
Yeah, like if you were to see a picture of him and be like, oh, that guy. Yeah.
It just doesn't ever ring a bell for me. It's instantly forgotten for some reason. Okay, Mark Meadows.
Lisa, this is not 34 indictments and 9 are House members. There's 6 members of the House up here. There's an additional 9 people around this meeting that were trying to get some sort of reprieve from guilt. And then there's an additional 34. So there's 3 groups of people in the amounts of 6, 9, and 34. 3 different groups. Oh, okay. So Karin is saying the 9 is the 6 that she posted, the 6 members of Congress, plus Giuliani, Eastman, and Meadows. Okay, well, there's 34 more. So we got the 6 to 9. There's 34 more that are coming from somewhere else that were involved in the delay, the obstruction. So I don't know what that is, but we got the 6 to 9. So the 6 is the member of Congress, the 9 are the counsel, the lawyers that were involved, plus Meadow. But there's an additional 34. And they're coming from this line over here that I can't. I'm going to stare at this. I'm going to give you the floor, Johnny. I'm going to go look for my phone, make some more coffee. Is that okay?
Sure.
Are you sure? You don't mind? I hate to. Feel free to cuss me out if you want to. Like, bitch, where you going?
This way. So y'all can say.
That's big enough, right?
Yeah, I think I don't know why I look white shot all of a sudden. Can y'all see that? Is that
How
too
do I make
small?
it bigger?
That's as big as it can be. Is it too small?
I can see it. I see the Ace of Wands, the 3 of Swords, the 8 of Pentacles, the
Because I
Queen
got bigger cards. Y'all let me know. Is that too small? You can see it? Okay. Well, then I will leave it. I'll leave it be. Mark Meadows. This is upside down for me, though. 3 of Cups, 2 of Wands, 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Cups, and the 8 of Swords. There's a group here with plans to take something or make something disappear that someone's going to be incarcerated. 8 of Swords is in government. This is also something that was done within a person's capacity in a government field. This had something to do with his position. He was high. What was it? Chief of staff, right? Something in his position here too, like his leadership part. He's going to regret that severely. There's a woman here with the Five of Pentacles in House Empress. She also helped make something disappear. Two of Wands in House High Priestess. There is secrets. High Priestess is here too. There are secrets that are right now. It's concealed, but it won't be for long because somebody's making plans for that to be undone. But it's sealed for, actually, you know what? Take that back. Well, it's sealed for us. We don't know, but somebody else has unsealed it by government order here. Because whatever these plans were, it's already melted. So I guess it's maybe like sealed indictment or something of that nature. Because here with the government, there is something that's restricted, at least from us in public view. There's a group of them, 3 at least. They were all in government, though, or at least around the emperor who has all these regrets. Interestingly enough, the 3 of Cups here are the 3 of Cups also knocked over in the 5 of Cups. There's a group of 3 people here that are all getting caught up and could possibly all be incarcerated too. But they made something disappear. That was part of the plan. It's not gone completely, it's just hidden. Six of Cups, the Empress, the High Priestess, the Page of Swords, the 7 of Pentacles. There is something, Mark Meadows. He just doesn't ring a bell for me ever. I don't know why. There's something here. I know he's got immunity, right? There's something here he can be deemed innocent from, but something here that he's not. This has something to do with possible taking money for something that may be the thing. He took money for favors for someone to reap benefit later down the line. 7 of Pentacles is an investment. It's also in House Wheel of Fortune, which governs time. So this is like an investment for something down the line. Maybe, and there's a stop to an investigation here too that he may have used his office to do. He stopped someone either from talking. Page of Swords could be a whistleblower, or he stopped someone from investigating. This is through coercion, though. This was not, hey, such and such is a great guy, don't do that. This was through other means. This woman he worked with is going to be quite prominent because she's House Empress is the 5 of Pentacles. She made something disappear too. And then in House Chariot is the woman. This relationship, they work together on a couple things, actually. But if you look at their offices, they should have been on different sides of the building. Like she was the this of that, and then he was the chief of staff or something like that. So they shouldn't have been working together. I wonder if she's in Congress, because didn't he give up his seat to go work for Trump or something like that? Like she is not part of, directly a part of the administration, I don't think. They shouldn't have been working together, but they did. But he's known her for some time too. 6 of Cups is nostalgia.
What you picking up, Johnny?
but they've definitely known each other, whoever she is. The Eight of Pentacles, Three of Swords, Ace of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, and the Three of Wands. There's work, betrayal, new actions, some woman, Three of Wands.
Wait, can you repeat that again?
Because I don't know what I just said. There's work, betrayal, new actions, a woman, and Three of Wands.
What is the Three of Wands, Johnny?
Anticipation or arrival of something, expansion of something else that you're working on. Something is nearing its completion. There's an international aspect to it too. But he worked with some woman here, and these actions with the Ace of Wands, it was his idea. She carried it out though. I think she may fry for it alone, though. Three of Swords is in House Hangman. That's sacrifice. I don't think she has any friends in this regard.
Huh.
But whatever those actions are, they are delayed, or they're still, they were used for some sort of deal or some sort of working with another country. Because the Queen of Pentacles is also my card for America, and then the Eight of Pentacles is something he would do in working capacity, but it's in House Justice. And so they either made a rule, made a law, made a something that they may have done. The Three of Wands is in House Devil. So whatever this was it could be deemed illegal, but it was for the benefit of another country. Now it has not completed. That's why it's sort of being caught up here. And he's betrayed somebody and is going to let them fry on their own. Now, this may have something to do with either investments or votes or even infrastructure. So if it's infrastructure, and it could have something to do with maps, because the Ten of Wands would be something with a lot of painstaking detail into it.
Uh-huh.
If you combine it with the Three of Wands. So there could be something like that too that he did in his capacity as Chief of Staff. But he was sort of paid to do so, Eight of Swords, so he was obligated. I mean, as far as a person can be obligated by taking money for doing horrible things, but there's an obligation to it. King of Wands, Queen of Swords, Three of Pentacles, Ten of Wands, and the Strength. Somebody on his team is getting ready to flip too. So someone that worked very close with him. I keep getting three. I got the Three of Cups, Three of Swords, Three of Pentacles. There's three people involved total, and two others are going to flip.
You get how many?
Three.
Three.
It's either three or it's nine if you combine all three, because they're in different places. Mm-hmm. And so this is going somebody. I get two people in the last reading I did for whoever that person's name was, Donald Trump. And no, Jack Smith in the Donald Trump thing. There was two people flipped successfully. So there may be one that is still not, but two people definitely get flipped successfully, possibly one man, one woman. And they go and they bear all. They want leniency though, but they're heavily burdened. And so they get caught up on something. They can't get away because the strength is strong enough as it is, and then the Ten of Wands is a complete burden. So he cannot get out of it, and she can't either. But the Tower, King of Wands is in House Tower, which means this person's life is ruined completely. King of Wands, Three of Swords, High Priestess, and Five of Cups. He kept someone's secret up until the time he got caught. And so he gets in massive trouble, and his life is pretty much ruined. He has instant regrets. And this woman here is getting ready to tell. So I think all three come to a flip mode at some point. Because now we are no longer dealing with investigations. We're dealing with the wagons have already been circled.
Yeah.
So now it's closing in time.
Johnny, I got a question. In his tableau, I got the bear right next to the storks, and then it's man. Okay. If I just look at those three and read it as a line of three, I see a financial improvement for this man. Are you picking up anything financial?
He's got money coming in from wherever the Three of Wands, there's your expansion. So if you read it down here, there's the strength, the Three of Wands. Strength is strong and inner strength and conquering something, or an advantage over something, or an advantage given. The Three of Wands, anticipation. It's nearing. Something is nearing its end or nearing its completion. The Seven of Pentacles is something that is invested, so it's almost like it's promised to. And then there's the Eight of Swords. So yes, there's a contract of some sort. So there's money coming in still.
Are you picking up, because right over here in this portion of the tableau, it's the Crossroads house and clouds, followed by the whip, the lilies, the scythe, and then the heart, the sun, and the ring. This top line, problems, multiple problems in the family. Okay, multiple problems in regards to two residences, multiple problems for members of Congress and the entourage, 6 of them. Right below it, when I'm looking at pips, the whip is the Jack of Clubs. The lilies is the King of Spades. The Jack is the scythe is the Jack of Diamonds. House, King of Hearts. Clouds, King of Spades. When I look at that, earlier I was saying some people that have veteran status. Well, there's more than one, but they all have veteran status. One is surrounded by younger people with weapons and they're violent. Another one had something to do with the home or something domestic. And the other one is very irritable, confused, perhaps a smoker. So I'm thinking like the one-eyed Stewie. What's his face?
Elmer.
Yeah, Elmer, one-eyed Stewie. And then perhaps because of the lilies, one-eyed Stewie, what's his face? Flynn, Bannon. But this one right here has younger people that are militant with weapons, and they're domestic right here with the house. Danger. Okay. Are you picking up anything around that situation? Like and they're also part of a large network of loyalists here that organize on social media somehow. So it's like that whole Steve Bannon situation, Mike Flynn situation, Proud Boys situation, because there's violence and weapons here.
I get it's a smaller community though. That's what I would get. And the Three of Cups is not the Ten of Cups. So it would indicate it's either a smaller community, or if it's a part of a larger community, this is a section cut out of it. Because the Three of Cups is a small community. That doesn't mean it can't be a larger thing. It's kind of like a chapter of the NAACP or a chapter of Parent Here. So it's like some so small thing, but I get a small group of people, and the reason it could be a small group part of a larger thing is because these people are more intimate with the Six of Cups. He knows them. Like they're very familiar. These aren't strangers. They've either worked in the past or they've been working together for at least 6 years. And so these people know each other. And then with the Empress right above that or right beside that, he either created them, helped to create them, or they're related to him. And so there's some sort of creation around the small group of people, or at least that faction of them, that were meant to betray, treason, or had weapons with the Ace of Wands, and were also taking money or stealing money too.
You got stealing of money?
Or resources, I should say that. I keep telling the students, don't look at pentacles and say money. So it's resource of some sort. So, and this doesn't necessarily have to be money. It could be anything that can be attached to a value. So resources of any kind.
So when I look at him here, because he's, can I switch us real quick, Johnny? Let me switch us. Okay, so here's him. He knights over here to the mice, knights here to the fox, knights here to the ship and the fish. He's sitting in the House of Clouds, meaning, oh shit, fuck, I'm in deep trouble. That even though he's landing at the top of the tableau, it's not an auspicious position because of the house. Okay. He has knowledge of a loss. Coffin is in its own house in this tableau. Okay. Losses, ruin, endings. Here, him stealing, him taking away something, but that stealing is done within a group, a team of people, and it is very widespread and vast because the mice sits in the house of stars. Stars as a thing is technology. It's also maps, how people used to navigate back in the day, which they still do, using the stars to navigate. Also guidance in regards to a theft. Okay. He knights here to the fox, him at work, him in his employment, sneaky meetings that he was having and sneaky text messages, verbal communication. Fox in the House of Birds. Him right here to the ship, his transition, or him going on a trip or a transfer in the House of Mountain, blocking a transition. And then man to fish, him consulting, and fish is in the House of Mice, consulting how to take away something on a vast scale. But also, like I was saying, perhaps he worked in a consulting capacity as well from taking away from maps, like you were saying earlier, something with maps. And then here we see the manipulated results and then the false results here. But this right here, that's 1, 2, 3, and then these. And then there's a woman here. And another younger person here. Passionate and dangerous. Partisan, but this could also be read as a woman. Decision here. There's someone here with wise counsel. Agreements for success or agreements in regards to the maps. Districts, large communities here. I'm still trying to figure out what this 34 is, Johnny. And I'm stuck.
Fish.
Yeah, because fish is number 34. This is the 6 people in Congress that asked for pardons. Down here on the line of fate that you can't see, it talks about him accepting an offer for a smaller punishment, maybe around 5 years or so, because it's tree. Child is 1 year minimum. Tree is a very long time. We're talking years. So maybe he takes like a plea deal for something smaller, maybe like 5 years. But there's 9 involved in this meeting that were asking for gifts to take away the guilt. But then there's 34 here. This is what, and the 6 or the 9 is the members of Congress plus Giuliani, Eastman, and him. And then, but there's these 34 here. If I follow it this way, It's heart, sun, ring, letter, ship, key, and fish, and then mountains. So it's some sort of an agreement to delay the transition, but it's on a transcript, in a letter, in an email. It's written. It's written. A public record, perhaps, letter in the house of garden. It could also be a record of people that are members of that little society there, but there's 34. And I can't figure, but there are 34 thieves here. Thieves, delaying.
Is it people, or is it 34 different things that they stole?
That's what well, the fish is the king of diamonds. That's why I'm thinking it's people. That's why I think it's people. Because I'm looking at the pip.
Because because the Wheel of Fortune would govern like records of things in the tableau.
Mm-hmm.
And it has a 7 of Pentacles. There's a bunch of it, whatever it is. But it's a thing in this one. The Wheel of Fortune is like your records or your financial records, even bank records or anything like that. And then especially with the 7 of Pentacles governing your investments. So they could both be tied, but it's a bunch of it, whatever it is. And it can yield results periodically, and so, or annually, or semi-annually, or something like that. So it comes out a lot. This is not just a one-time thing. And so, but there's a lot of it. And then here with the Page of Swords, the 5 of Cups, the 8 of Swords, it disappears, but it's under lock and key somewhere. But it's a bunch of it.
Was he involved in the Georgia situation? Because I'm looking at the corners and it's saying that he's out of options and a woman achieves her goal. Dead end, and a woman achieves her goal. Because it says here, down this line here, there's a phone call and a meeting. There's a few phone calls, one with a woman that's a bit nuts. But there's more than one meeting. And one of them is with this person here. And when I look around this person, it's when all this shit happens with all those, like I was saying, perhaps the Proud Boys, Steve Bannon, Flynn, all those people.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's a meeting with this woman, or phone calls, text messages, something on his phone that was delivered to her.
Because here, the 5 of Cups, so there's some regret, some sadness, loss, grief. Page of Swords, some bad news, and then there is a woman here who brings a whole lot of burden. So there's some sort of bad news about something that he may regret now, anyway. Queen of Pentacles could be a earth sign woman or a person with dark hair, dark skin, dark eyes type of thing, too. So there is some bad news coming here, and she brings a lot of burden. Or if it's not a Fannie Willis, then whoever this is that he was involved with brings a lot of burden, too. But the only thing that would show collaboration is the 3 of Pentacles. But this is more, I want records and not I want help. His problems come in with the racist, the people here that he was too close to. The 5 of Pentacles is racism, bigotry, because this is people who throw you out for biased reasons. Page of Swords is your negativity, also your inside man, your spies, your people with behavioral issues. And then the 8 of Swords is your limitations and restrictions. Possibly some of them are incarcerated already. That's where he draws a lot of his attention, and he's known these people. And so they got way too much history, and there's a lot built up. Possibly text messages, too, because Wheel of Fortune governs technology. So there's possibly a lot of messages. Ain't he the one that burned stuff in his fireplace?
Yes. And that shows up here with the letter and the sun, heat, and then documents. And then here's the destruction of documents here. And also results that are fraudulent. And then a woman around that actually, yeah, there's a woman around these fraudulent results that's in deep shit. Snake in the House of Woman. She's in deep, deep shit. Because there's the decision or the danger. Well, actually, there's also impeachment here this way. But danger, there's the records or the results that are false with the snake, and right above it with the what is this, fox? Those are your falsified records. So it's hitting it twice. But I'm telling you, there's a lot of people shitting their pants right now over Mark Meadows. Because that thievery was widespread and they were getting guidance from Meadows. And they're part of this party here, and they're established loyalists. They're not going anywhere, and they lie. They lie this way. And these people are members of a party. A group.
That's what's causing a lot of investigation too. Because the lies with the Page of Swords, that's your liar, your gossip. Mm-hmm. He's in-house hermit. That's investigation. So some of these people may have some perjury charges too.
Oh, yeah. I said that too. Snake next to the birds. I said that earlier. Lying about a communication in regards to a woman.
Yeah, right next to that too.
Or lying about a meeting about a woman. But if I follow the line backwards, it's between stuff that was meetings that were held in around a rally, on social media, a rally, a party, a network of loyalists, widespread lies, and then gossiping about those lies, like trying to change the narrative, but it doesn't. But there's a lot of people shitting their pants right now. There's a lot of people shitting their pants because his line of fate shows that he's going to take an offer for smaller guilt. Huh?
So, yeah.
He's going to take offer for a smaller punishment, if that makes sense. And he's going to throw all these motherfuckers under the bus.
If I knight the sword, it goes to, or Page of Swords, it goes to the Three of Swords, which is in Hangman, self-sacrifice. So he does in order to release his lies to somebody. Because he's told a bunch and he's now trying to save his own skin.
Yeah. No, there's more than
trouble though.
There's more than 34 fake electors. I know that for sure. There's 34 something else involved here that were involved in the obstruction. And these people are members or have a membership to a party. But that's on paper. It's on paper because it's followed by the, what is this, letter? So there's the paper, the transition, very important. And then there's 34 that were obstructing. 34 enemies here with the mountain. Obstructing, delaying. Yep. But June, July, August, the shit, there's going to be some shit that's going to weigh very, very heavily. It has to do with losses, thievery, and obstruction. And this woman achieves a goal. But it's related to the elections. But that comes in August, according to this, because this is June, July, and then August is the loss, obstruction, and then her. There were 7 states that had fake electors with a total count of 84. Yeah, no, this is or 84. No, this is 34. It's not the fake electors. This is something else. This is something else entirely. So maybe it's what Karin was saying of people pleading the fifth on those 34 pages of documents that were released from the committee. But there's 34 something. I'll keep my eye out on it. For it, whatever. Do you see him? Because I don't, if this is court, it goes June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January is when the court shows up for him. And it has to do with overturning the government and lying about the transition. With the storks, the tower, the ship, and the snake. So June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, if I wrap it around. If I wrap it around.
So what was your question again?
Do you see him in court?
I see him when it comes to courts, because that would be House Justice, or at the very least Hierophant. This looks more like working with. So you're a paid snitch type thing.
Uh-huh.
Because the Eight of Pentacles is in House Justice. That means this is a day-by-day thing or a day-to-day thing, to where there's a lot of detail being given in a legal capacity. The Eight of Swords and Hierophant means you are sort of entrapped within a system that is hard to change. So this would be, especially with the investigator in House Tower, maybe he's giving some sort of revelations to this person. So he's trying to do, what was that child's name? Like a Michael Cohen or somebody, to where, okay, just give it all up now. Or
Yeah.
Weisselberg or somebody like that, to where you don't really have much of an option. They kind of have you. And so I get that he's working with someone in a legal capacity to maybe lessen a sentence of some sort.
Yep.
Or to cool the harshness of a punishment, because the punishment is coming anyway.
Yeah.
But he's trying to, I guess, mitigate some of the damages, if you will.
Yep. Because they were going to make him the fall guy too.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, Trump surrounds himself with fall guys. You know, let everybody else take the heat while he keeps his hand clean. His hands clean, you know? This dumbass, stupid idiot. This line right here, line of influence, it shows him at court and papers before peers, a group of peers.
Jury.
So perhaps grand jury. That's one line of influence. He's running out of opportunities, and his chances for getting out of this are getting smaller by the day. Man to clover followed by mice, and mountain. And then with the coffin in its own hand, in its own house, the end, my friend, the end. Kaput. Yeah. Kaput put.
Because they have their own cases against him.
Uh-huh. Yep. And then there's trouble here with properties too. Trouble with properties. There's something here around a paper or mail that was fraudulent and lied about. Ooh. So that could be him voting from two different places. So he still has that to deal with. Let me see.
He doesn't have, I wonder if he has any connection to spas or retreats or anything like that. Or if he knows information. Because I get the Two of Wands, which is plans, blueprints, any kind of plans. It's in-house High Priestess. High Priestess is in-house Strength. This could be something about your secrets. And then you get the Queen of Pentacles, which is real estate, that it's in-house Temperance, which is spas and retreats and wellness. And then there's the Strength. And I wonder if he has any connection whatsoever to one of Donald Trump's resorts or something like that, or he knows some information hidden about the resorts. So maybe some document information about moving of those type of things.
Yeah.
Or something else that we don't know.
Yeah, I saw that in my tableau too, because there's, like I said, up here, problems with family, problems with property, problems for members of Congress, something executive that was being changed or moved. There's him. And then book and coffin. Knowledge of a loss, metaphorically, books or something secret in boxes that was being moved. Secrets that are missing, secrets that are being obstructed. He aided in that somehow. Wait a minute. Does anybody know when Mark Meadows, at the end of Trump's administration, did Mark Meadows go work for Donald Trump? Was he employed by him outside of the administration after the end of his presidency? Does anybody know? Because he knights here to the fox. And then the moon sits in the house of fox. So his career and his employment. Well, what's touching it? Secrets and boxes. And here it's saying moving. There's the secrets and boxes that are missing and then obstructed. And then the secrets, there's the opportunity, the sale, and the delivery. Let me see. I'm wondering if he was employed by him outside after the administration. Let me see. Because if he's up here, he's throwing all these people under the bus. All of them.
Mm-hmm. All of his secrets are being dragged out of him. The high priest is in house strength. Strength is conquering something through different means or unconventional means. And then strength is in house judgment. He's going to sing like a bird.
Yep. That shows in my tableau too. Man, moon, key, and birds. He's going to sing serenades all night long. Sing like a little bird.
You might as well. Nobody's sticking up for you. So, I mean, why not? What do you got to lose at this point?
Yeah. He's got bear in the house of house. So an executive, a property executive, resources and property, a manager, property manager, let me see, how else can I look at this? Property manager, resources from a home.
Can things be added to Donald Trump's current case, or will they have to open a new case for that type of thing?
What's that?
Can they add to Donald Trump's current case, or will they need a new case?
Yes, they can. And according to the grand tableau that I did in March, I hit that up real quickly with Jen at the beginning. They do add to it. The storks right here. So we
Make
got
yourself bigger too.
Oh.
Can we do a side-by-side thing?
Okay, let me see. Sorry. So here are the swing states. So we are March, April, May, June. We're right here. The month of June is looking like there may be some sort of an agreement that he makes. Then July. More stuff about people that had knowledge of the classified stuff in boxes that are going to talk and squeal and sing. August, more indictments. August, September, October is when all the stuff from the swing states hits and all the stuff from Georgia hits. So within those 3-month period, but they add to because of the storks. So it's anchor, storks, and lilies. So the arrival of something that's been long awaited in regards to something changing gets here, but they add to it. Does that make sense? And then right here, the charges get added. More pile up. It's like a pile up. And then I think I found Mark Meadows in Trump's tableau earlier, and I think he's showing up as and I was telling Jen, I hate to look at the garden as a person because it's not a pip card, but it's sitting in the house of fish, and fish is the king of diamonds. So Mark Meadows here in deep shit in regards to the transition, but he does something to make it smaller. And it shows up in this tableau too on the line of fate. He does something to make it smaller because there's the guilt. There's small. There's something that is solid. And then there's the offer. This sits in the house of cross.
Yes.
So an offer, he takes the offer for smaller punishment. So
I get the page of wands in house full. So he gives some sort of new information through the means of talking or messaging or something of that nature about Donald Trump. And it adds to his current trouble, which is why I asked. So I think that he is going to give some sort of new information that causes Donald Trump to have more charges or some, because this is more than just information. This is, you can take that to the bank.
yeah,
The page of wands is like the town crier. He reports news, not necessarily gossip. That's more your page of swords. And so he's going to give them some sort of solid lead to go on. And then that increases Donald Trump's problems. And I think it may have something to do with voting or with Georgia or with an election or something where you have to make choices.
yeah.
And so that's why I think too, this may be a Georgia thing. But
Yeah, because over here, it's the elections and then overturning this way. So, and then in Trump's tableau, when the indictments hit here, I found swing states here. And this becomes broader and more widespread. There's the mice in the house of ring, which is mirrored in his tableau. And then it's followed by the what do you call this? Stars in the house of book. So it's widespread. You see that same pattern here. Mice in the house of stars, widespread. So it's like, because there's a phone call and a meeting. What sits in house? Oh, wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong tableau. Hold on. Important elections, key in the house of crossroads right here. And then at nights here to storks. Significant changes in the elections. Knowledge of it, the thievery, the manipulation, the math, and how widespread. And then this woman here, that's super important. Super, super, super important.
I wonder, where was he when Donald Trump was asking for people's voter rolls?
What? Hold on, refresh my memory.
Donald Trump wanted the voter registration rolls of a bunch of states. And it was rumor has it, now this wasn't confirmed, that that's something Russia wanted. And I wonder where Mark Meadows was. Was he in Congress or was he chief of staff at the time?
He was probably chief. It was after the election?
No, it was before, while he was president.
Mark Meadows was probably chief of staff. I think he was like the third or fourth chief of staff.
Because he wanted people's voter rolls from the states, from certain states. And I wonder if that ties in to something Fani Willis has to deal with too, or multiple attorney generals or something like that, or DAs, state AGs or something like that, because there's records and voting that this woman has to deal with. So I wondered too if he had anything to do with that. Or trying to, because he didn't get it, mind you, but he was trying to. And I wonder if he had something to do with that plan or trying to facilitate the info or something like that.
Who was that woman, Johnny, that got in trouble for giving those consultants? because I'm looking over here. Okay, snake is in the house of woman. Woman is one of the corner things on the tableau. Okay, as a thing, this would be a laptop, iPad, e-reader. Okay, this is a box. Okay, when you follow this line down, opportunity for consultants. Those consultants sits on the house of mice to take something away from what are they taking away from? The maps. So I'm thinking not the voter rolls, I'm thinking the machines. Remember there was that one woman, I forget what state she was in, that gave all of that information to those people and they got into the machines, and I think she's been indicted. Do you know who I'm talking about?
No, I don't know.
Or am I crazy? There was a woman, I forget what state she was in, but she gave, remember the cyber ninjas and all that stuff? There was an independent.
Oh, that was Arizona with the cyber ninjas.
Yeah, and she gave them access to the machines, and they took out all of that information from everybody that voted.
Yeah, and those people got fined $50,000 or $5,000 a day until they turned over the stuff that they had, because they were not basically state-sanctioned people. This was a private company.
Yeah, it was a private company, and this right here is private. Opportunity consultants to deliver something. This right here, books, tablets, but this is closed off, highly classified. And then there's a bunch of trouble here for this woman here too.
I looked it up. It was in 2017. Donald Trump asked for it was a commission created by President Donald Trump to enhance confidence in America's elections. So he asked all 50 states for a copy of the voting or voter registration rolls.
But remember, that also came out in the news. I think it was after the committee wrapped up their investigation, that the plan was that they were going to get into these machines, overturn the election, and use that, the way that they were going to use the voters and voter rolls and everything out of the machines. They were going to use that and duplicate it in all the swing states where Donald Trump lost. So they were going to fuck with the election machines. So even though the election machines, there was no evidence of fraud, they were going to fuck with the machines to make the results fraudulent in Trump's favor. And that's, I think, where Rudy Giuliani and Eastman and everybody else was involved too. And the pillow guy, that's right, the pillow guy funded that whole thing. I forgot about that. Thank you, Evelyn. Because they were taking that information out of the machines, Johnny, and they were going to clone it and do it on all the other states where he lost in the swing states. And now those machines can't be used because they were tampered with. But that woman, I can't remember her name. I can't remember if she was in Georgia or Arizona, but she's in deep shit, like deep, deep shit, you know? Because that January 6th committee was just, that was, you know, we're all wrapped up on the, oh shit, with the classified document stuff, but the stuff that came out from the committee, it's just like, just wait till you see the indictments for 1/6, how broad and widespread that whole plan was, you know? So, because this is saying here, it's like yours, the stealing is very, very broad and widespread, vast, to obstruct. Kathy Latham, a former GOP chairwoman of Coffee County, Georgia. That's what Nancy Hunter is saying. Oh yeah, we forgot about crazy lady Sidney Powell. I mean, I'm losing track of everybody. I'm just losing track. But he becomes a star here, star in his house. He's like a star witness to all this shit over here on this side. but that's still a little ways to go. June, July, August. So something big hitting in August around a woman who achieves
He's
her
got some
goals.
more cooperating to do.
What's that?
He's got some more cooperating to do.
Yeah. So around August, the shit hits the fan around a woman who finally gets to her goal in regards to the election and the losses and the thievery of it. If I'm looking at the corners and then this line.
I wonder if it's a lawyer.
Back here. In this one, it doesn't show a lawyer. She's in the House of Moon. Well, yeah, she's in the House of Moon next to the tower. So a career investigator in the law, if I look at it that way. But she's had interviews and people, she's been interviewing people. And people over here, these loyalists in the party, that is very, very broad and widespread, but she's got people here lying in perjury themselves on what they've told her in negotiating. But I'm wondering how he's involved if this is Georgia. Because there's a phone call here in a meeting. And then there's shit that hits the fan here, and then all this that happens. This whole 3 columns. And then there's financial fraud records here too. So I'm wondering what that's about, because it's financial fraud, fraudulent records, widespread, but it's looking like it comes from the campaign. So campaign finance here, conservative party here. So I don't know if that's the RNC, the DNC, or perhaps rallies where he was going. This is a large group of people, networks. But there's financial fraud coming too. Financial fraud and fraudulent records, fraudulent emails. Shit's widespread for him. And this is in the House of House. So like I was saying, property manager, resources for the family, resources and property. Not so much sale of a home, because that would be a fish. That's more like, also could be power and control in the house and manipulating records and maps and the results, making it very broad. That's another way to interpret that. Tina Peters in Mesa County, Colorado, arrested regarding access to voter machines. Thank you, Karin.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember her, Tina Peters?
Mm-hmm. We read on her a couple times because she's connected with Mike Lindell too. He gave her a bunch of money, and she had a campaign, and I think the maximum you were supposed to give was like $1,800, and he gave her $150,000 or something stupid like that.
Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm. She's been arrested.
She's been arrested?
Mm-hmm.
All these stupid motherfuckers keep lining up. They keep thinking they're going to be different. It's like, look at the pile of bodies.
All of this for a stranger. Donald Trump don't know y'all. You don't know him either, though. So
he don't know you all, and he's real quick to throw you all under the bus.
Mm-hmm. It's not worth it.
Mm-mm. Look at what he did to the first guy. What's his name? Michael Cohen. And you all just keep lining up. So
Rick Gates, Papadopoulos, all these people went down a long time ago. Y'all had examples already.
Yep. Significant change of results. And then the decision and the danger of changing something violently. And then improving chances of winning for power. Yeah. So what is around here? So this is fraud, trouble right here, financial improvements, danger in regards to fraud in the government or within an institution or a corporation, an agreement here, a legal agreement. There's a legal agreement. Ring in the House of Tower, and at Knights here too. A legal agreement. Letter in the House of Garden. So that could be the results of a committee in regards to a transition. Also, a legal agreement. Another way to read that is public records. And the transfer of something that was delayed, transition. Trouble, and not sure about which way this investigation is going to go, but it's legal trouble this way. Serious legal trouble this way, and it revolves around the transition or the transfer. Changing the results, improving results. And this is in the House of House. Control of the house, resources for the family, an executive in property. How else can I read that, Johnny? How else can I read that? Control of the house.
With Baron House.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. This is financial agreements, clinging to power as well. Clinging to power through agreements with law, because it's there. Knights to Ring. Ring is in the House of Tower. Financial agreements with institutions as well, but there's fraud right in the middle of it. And also another way to look at this is his work around all this stuff, but it's all his work around all of it is fraudulent. These stupid sons of bitches, man. Jesus. Hold on. There's a... Let me see. Sun in the House of Dog, Ring in the House of Tower, Letter in the House of Garden, Dog in the House of Book, Guard in the House of Letter, Stars in the House of Man, Cross in the House of Key, Child in the House of Crossroads, or in the House of Fish, Tree in the House of Anchor. So this could be talking about very optimistic about some sort of legal agreement and how they're going to get results here. Okay. In regards to a decision that could be quite problematic for him, but he's quite optimistic. But there's a deal. There's an agreement here. And then there's loyalist, people that are friendly in this very large network of people that he betrays. He's a witness and he betrays. There's also that deal, that agreement for this network of people here to suffer. Suffering, get punishment. And then emails. Emails, all that sort of stuff, electronic messages. Possibly with a child or someone smaller. But there's many of them. There's a lot of them. It could be also a small group of people that are independent and consulting. So if this is his answer, I mean, I don't need to say it. If this is his key to get out of everything, he rats everybody out. If I just like box this in. The answer here, rat everybody out. And run away. Run away. He takes
it's part of his self-sacrifice. 3 of Swords, Hangman.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta betray him.
Yeah, he takes the agreement here. But that doesn't show up June, July, August, September, October, November. Yeah, around the fall time, possibly, where we might hear more about it. Some sort of an agreement to rat everybody else out for something smaller.
Mm-hmm.
You had options, homeboy. That's what you get for criming. That is what you get for criming. But considering everything, you know, he's still up here. Yeah, he's sitting in a shit house. He's sitting in the worst house ever. But
I wonder if he's got some sort of tie to COVID numbers too.
To COVID numbers?
Mm-hmm.
You mean like covering up the COVID numbers, or
Mm-hmm. Something to do with COVID numbers, COVID records, COVID anything? Because there's the death in houseworld, so there's like public deaths or widespread death too. But it goes to, if I knight it, it goes to the Seven of Pentacles and to the Queen of Pentacles, which would be something to do with the country, but it's death, and so I'm going COVID for that. And then there is records or investments, something to do with one of those or both of those. So either COVID numbers or COVID investments in records.
probably. Marjorie Taylor Greene had all sorts of investments in the vaccines while she's sitting there telling people not to get vaccinated. So
Yeah.
that's smart. Get your constituents killed, but while you're making money off of it, you know? I can't wait for this.
There's my disease card there too.
What's that?
There's my disease card here too. Five of Pentacles, disease. High Priestess, secret. Ace of Wands, and action around Three of Pentacles, collaborations. I wonder. It's probably all a moot point now since he's in the hands of investigators and people who want him for questioning.
Well, that's right here. Questioning and answering. He sings. He sings. And I don't think he's done singing yet.
This is gonna go on for a minute. Because I think he's gonna have to he's gonna have to cooperate unless you just want to go down for everything that they got you on, but I don't think he does.
There's no way.
Only people like a Stuart Rhodes, who thinks he's still dying for his cause, would have anything to do with staying the course. Everybody else is like, okay, what do you want to know? Because I want to be in jail forever.
Yeah.
So he's going to be working he's going to betray a lot of people, though.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. And according to this GT2 and the one that we did in April, he's got serious problems at home with his wife and his family.
I was like, does he have low kids?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, there's a lot of problems going on there.
Yep, and it shows up here in the first three. A lot of problems in the family. And it shows up in the last one that I did in April. A shit ton of problems in his marriage. And I know that because the ring lands to the left of him. If the ring was before, then no. But it's behind him to the left. So that means problems in the family. And look how far he is from the wife. So here it shows man, and then coffin, and then woman and birds. A lot of depression, and this woman here and them needing to communicate significantly about what his choices are and what offers he's going to take, because he's heading to ruin. Man.
And their backs are at each other, aren't they?
Huh?
And their backs are at each other, aren't they?
Yep. They're not seeing eye to eye. And then the marriage is over here. So the marriage, clouds, and then man and keys. So significant problems in the marriage. And then to get the ring to talk to the woman, I need to go ring to mountain, and then garden to her. She still keeps up social appearances, but that marriage is in deep trouble. Ring and mountain. And so it shows all over the tableau, serious problems at home. And then the kids are suffering with in the line of fate. Another way to interpret that, with the besides him taking an offer for something smaller for his punishment to be smaller, the kids suffer here because it's cross and child.
Mhm.
The kids suffer, and the family here, big problems. You know.
I got 5 of Pentacles, House Empress. Empress would be the wife, because he would be the Emperor, which there's no Emperor in here. He didn't show up. And so in House Emperor is regrets and loss and grief. In House Empress is out in the cold, rejection and lack and loss. She does come up, though, but in House Chariot. So they're separated, but together at the same time. So they appear together, but they're separated. The kids appear in House Lovers, so that's why I was wondering if it's little kids or if they're his kids, or if he has kids, because they pop up in the lover's position. So someone that he was responsible for the birth of. But then they have the 3 of Swords right below that, with the mother right next to them. And so there's some sort of separation in that family big time.
Yeah.
And not just because of his job, but because of now legal things too, but it's been going on for some time.
Yep. Yeah, he's Tower in the House of Child. So at the early stages or the beginning of legal problems coming up.
Mm-hmm.
But the Tower is not surrounded by bad cards. If you look at it up here, Bear, and then Storks, and then Man. So he flips. He flips here. A powerful change for him. Okay. Also, another way to read that, financial improvements for him. There is suspicion there, and also perhaps investigations. There's the law, but he's followed by the Moon here. So he does good in the courts because he answers. What does he answer to? Everything. 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 Key in the House of Crossroads. So he answers everything about choices, but he's got options here on how to get out. Because the Crossroads is your exit strategy.
Do you see if his reputation improves? I see Lily's is below him, though.
Yeah, Lily's is way down here, which this is not good. So if anything, this is looking more like the Lily's below the significator, no matter how far, not good. You always want it above you. It doesn't matter how far, but it's below him. Right here, the charge is more than likely smaller, but misdemeanors in some sort of a sense. But I mean, he still does time according to this. But he's bad character, not good character, dangerous, manipulative.
So he's not going to go do a mea culpa type of thing to where Michael Cohen is now accepted in certain circles now because of his sort of road to redemption. So he doesn't have that. For you.
No, he doesn't have that because over here, the Lily's below him, not good. His character is bad and questionable, suspicious, manipulative, two-faced. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then when you go down and you look at the Garden, well, if this is society and how he stands within a social circle, it's followed by this. So there's almost like a shunning.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what I'm saying? And then here, the social circle here, on whether it's social media or people that are within that party, that network of people, liar, betrayer. Do you see what I'm saying? So, the only thing he has going for him is he's got the Moon and the Key really close. But that's to save his own ass. Mm-hmm. This should be above him because the celestials, the Moon, the Sun, and the stars are better positioned above you in the heavens, in the tableau where they should be, and close. The only thing he has is this and this close, but it's beneath him. And then also with his virtue and integrity and his ethics below him, he's stepping on it. He's dirtying it up. Do you see what I'm saying? So, and then here, his reputation. And then here, opportunity and risk diminishes. It gets taken away. Do you see what I'm saying? So, I mean, after you get done serving your time, you might want to call Ginny Thomas and see how you can get in with lobbying and working for fucking crazies and shit, screwing up society. But, like, you done fucked up, man.
Uh-huh.
All these stupid people, all of them.
It just wasn't worth it.
No. Nope. Meanwhile, Donald Trump, I saw him on a picture in Twitter today. From today, they were saying that he was out at Bedminster rolling around on his little golf cart. You know, it's like you're about to be arraigned again on Tuesday, the day before your birthday. And you're out there rolling around on your golf cart, like
playing golf.
And meanwhile, everybody else around you has a target on their back. You know, like
couldn't care.
So, and also another way to investigate this, a pattern here, abuse. There's this person here, a target of an investigation in the law. So this person. So we talked about Stewie Rhodes and all those people, but if I wrap it around this way, this is somebody else coming up. That becomes a target. And this person, dangerous with weapons, or is connected to, linked to a party of loyalists that are dangerous with weapons.
Mm-hmm.
But it's coming up. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not, hasn't happened, it's coming up. Huh?
Yeah, I got that too.
Yeah, it's when I was reading it earlier, I was interpreting Stewie Rhodes and all those people. There's others here that they become targets because of what he ratted out. Because you got to go this way. This is him ratting out. You got this, and then you wrap it back around this way. And that's when these people get busted. But they're linked and connected to the rally and the weapons, and they become targets of an investigation because he ratted them out via paperwork. So,
yeah, and that's coming soon. We'll hear about it.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out. I mean, the only people that I can think of that have not yet been indicted are Steve Bannon, Mike Flynn, Roger Stone. There's only two that fit the veteran status here, but there's 1, 2, 3 men. And then they're linked to younger ones that are violent. There's the link. There's the violence with weapons. So I see 1, 2, 3 men that I can pick out very clearly. And the only people that I can think of that fit that, Flynn, Bannon, maybe Stone. One of them, successful, very energetic loyalist in this party or involved in a rally of some sort or a large network, social media standing. And then there's the intolerant little people. So I don't know. Those are 3 that I can pick out. I could be wrong because, this doesn't tell me names. I just kind of got to go with interpreting it. And I don't always get it right, but.
So I get there's either 3 other than him or there's 3 total that I get to. 3 of cups, 3 is, I actually have every 3 except the hangman. 3 of swords.
Which 3s do you have, Johnny? 3 of cups,
All
3
of
of
them.
3 of cups, 3 of swords, 3 of wands, and
3 of pentacles. I even got the empress, which is also a 3. I don't have the hangman, which is the other 3, but I got everything.
Does that tell you about people?
This one, yes, because there is a betrayal here. So it's either 3 total or it's 3 other than him. Now, I would say personally 3 other than him because this is about him. And here, this group of people had some sort of plans that they worked on, which he regretted afterwards because that's why he's got caught up. So these 3 people can go down, and then you got the 3 of swords.
Sorry, Johnny, let me make you.
There and then you have the 3 of swords here. So these people are part of whatever community that they did some work because this is in House Magician. They did some sort of work. This does not really give me the indication he's involved, but he regrets what he did here. So he could have directed them or instructed them or been a part of whatever, because the regret comes in his position with the emperor. So he may have directed them or given them some sort of plans to do. But the reason I think it's three different people is because the Three of Cups is here. The Three of Swords is in sacrifice. So he has to give up three somethings or betray three somethings, because this is the card of betrayal. And as I said before, betrayal does not come from your enemies. It comes from your friends.
Yep.
And so these are three people close to him. Now, he doesn't necessarily betray himself, which is why, again, I think it's three opposite people, or people not opposite, people outside of him. Also in House Moon, where your devious and suspicions and your mysteries and all that stuff is the Three of Pentacles. And so here's your collaborations, your different walks of life and all of that type of thing. So these are not necessarily all businessmen or all lawyers or all this. They may have three different walks of life too. And you have the Three of Wands in House Devil. And so whatever this plans were, or they were, of course, illegal and self-destructive. And then you have the Empress, which is the other three, which is in Chariot. So that's teamwork. And so you got all that in here. And then when you go to the other three, which is Hangman, House Hangman is where the betrayal is. And so he's taking a perspective change because of his current predicament. Now, if I look in here, I get one man, one woman close to the betrayal. And then
I got that here too. Because there's three men that I can pick out. Lily's, the king of Lily's house and clouds. Those are three men. I got jacks all over this, which are younger, but this is a queen. You see what I'm saying? So there's in the indication here, this person's younger than him. Yeah, it's like these people are, this one in particular is surrounded by younger men that are angry and violent. This woman here is having family problems, or could be having family problems, or she is a problem within a house. Very argumentative, lashes out very quickly, very quick to anger. Duplicitous, because it's crossroads, so it goes two ways. She's duplicitous, but she's the closest one to these three men right here that have younger, passionate, violent men around them. She's the closest one that I can see.
And I think here's another reason why I think it's three people outside of him. There's two immediate, and then one seems to be down the line.
Yeah.
Here you have the King of Wands, who could be someone in the military, could be an officer, someone of active nature, though. And he's in House Tower, which makes me believe it's more of a someone who used to be in the military.
Yeah.
The Queen of Swords is in House Star. So either she has something to do, because she could be a lawyer or someone very, very sharp, but she is vindictive in her negative nature. She is very duplicitous, where she is an air sign too. But she could be someone either who has something to do with medicine, or she went to a school named after a saint or somebody who was deified. And so she has something to do with a person or a school that was elevated in nature like a star. So either she went to St. Mary's this or whatever, but she could be in a legal capacity or someone who is in a lawmaking capacity, at least now. So you have an active man, you have that woman, and then you have betrayal, and then there's no other indication of people around just these cards here. But you have the Ace of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, and Three of Wands. There is a new action coming forward that has something to do with the devilish plans. It has something to do with these people. So either they got two already and they just need the third, and that's what he's for, or they got two right now and the third will emerge through some other investigation. But I think he betrays that third one too. It's just a matter of time.
Yep. It's coming. It's coming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I would say in the next, because he's here, I got to look 2 columns ahead, and then that shit hits on the 4th, 5th, and 6th column from him. So I would say within the next 4 to 6 months, if I'm interpreting my tableau correctly in regards to these 3 men. There's 3 men and 1 woman. It could also, because the house is here, we could also be looking at another way to interpret this is the number of conservatives in the house that helped him or that were in cahoots. But I think I talked about that earlier because there's 6 here. Crossroads number 22, house number 4, clouds number 6. Those are the 6 in the house that were asking for pardons. And there is, I think, 1 woman and the rest are men in that scenario. In this other scenario, I can clearly see 3 men and 1 woman. But like you said, and I see it here too, the Lilies is a person of veteran status usually.
Is there a woman who asked for a pardon from him?
Marjorie Taylor Greene was one of the ones in the house that asked for pardons. Mm-hmm.
This would be released from the government. Government, this is your incarceration, and it's in House Hierophant.
Uh-huh.
So she wanted something from the government, this woman here.
She was one of the people that asked for a pardon. 6 members in the House of Representatives asked for pardons. And then there were 9 in total, meaning the 6 members of Congress plus the 2 lawyers and Mark Meadows, which brings me to 9, which is this little portion of the reading over here. But then there's also these 34 that I have no idea what the hell that's about. But it's those people were in agreement with that whole situation up here. So I'll have to look into that and see, or wait and see when that comes up. But it's looking like 34 people too. So yeah, but you know, I'm waiting for not just the members of Congress to get that stuff, but these 3 men here that were somehow in agreement with the stuff that happened at this rally, gathering support from the loyalists in the community right down here, putting it out on social media, that sort of thing. You know, it's like these stupid motherfuckers, man, like these idiots that want to play G.I. Joe on the weekend, you know. Oh, it's in the Constitution. Well, if you read the Constitution, you would know that you're about to break the law. But okay, you know, and it's like, and what makes you think that? Like, I don't understand how these dummies went and followed the likes of these people who, by the way, are multimillionaires.
Yeah.
And you're just a stupid foot soldier that's about to have your whole life ruined. And these people aren't going to pay your legal fees. They're not going to pay your mortgage. They're not going to pay for your kids. They're not going to pay for your wife when your ass is freaking locked up. They're out there golfing and rubbing elbows with other rich people while you're sitting in prison. You know, like, make it make sense, Johnny.
Mm-mm.
And now that Trump has just been indicted, I saw on Twitter that they're reporting that all the crazies on the super crazies, they're calling for unaliving people, making lists of who to attack. And it's like, have y'all still not learned? You know what I mean? Like, how many of you ended up in prison the first time you're going to do it again? Like, and by the way, you can bring your little, you know, AR-15s and all that other stuff, but you do realize that the National Guard and the armed forces that are going to be brought up have drones. Like, do you all realize?
That's my whole thing. It's like, this is not the, you know, 1776. This is, you're not waging a war against the people who shop at Whole Foods. You know, when you think about, you want to go fight somebody, you think the woke crowd and all the soft people and the man with the skinny jeans and the hair bun. That's not who you're going to be fighting. You're going to be fighting against people who are trained to fight people like you.
Yep.
Now, mind you, you're not even those people they're trained against. You're some weekend warrior who thinks they're tough because they watch a lot of action movies and play a lot of violent video games. It's not the same thing in the real world. Remember, the Jan 6 crowd was dissipated with tear gas.
Yep, exactly.
Not bullets in tanks, tear gas.
Yep, exactly. But, you know, they have their little weekend warrior get-togethers for their own little private militias. And it's like, I mean, go ahead.
ISIS. You think you're that tough?
It's like, go ahead. That'll be less of you morons to vote in the next election. But by all means, by all means, please just, less morons.
You think the National Guard is something to play with, then go ahead and try it.
Yeah. I mean, seriously. So I think I'm going to wrap it up here. I've been on for almost 3.5 hours, and I see people taking off to go to bed. It's 9:30 here, so I don't even want to know what time it is over on the East Coast. So I guess I'll try to come on tomorrow again and do another grand tableau. I'll ask you and Jenny which ones you guys think I should do, because who knows what we're going to wake up to tomorrow in the news.
I'm going to bed now too. I've been in class the whole time, so my brain is half dead. So
your brain is dead?
Yes, it really kind of is.
Yeah, today was kind of slow for me at work because it was a Friday, so it's kind of like I'm not as dumb as I was the rest of the time during the week. So thank you so much for joining me on such a whim, Johnny. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And for those of you that have not seen Johnny's grand tableau, he just did one yesterday. He posted. It's a pre-recorded video on the Dawn, so check that out. I'm sure you have, but if you haven't, check it out. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for keeping it cool. See you next time. Peace out. Bye.